Royston that leads them out. Just one win from their last 4 matches. That was against Sheffield. They've had losses to the big 3, Wigan, Bradford and St Helens in recent weeks. So they need to turn things around. 1 Aussie, David Bouvang, 1 Kiwi, Martin Moana, and 3 Pacific Islanders, Moni, Tuolangi and Umanga. There are the Pacific Islanders making up 3 of the backline positions. Umanga at fullback, Tuolangi on one wing, Moni on the other. Bouvang, a former North Queensland Cowboy and Gold Coast player. Dio Powell, a Welsh international. The halves are very nippy, I'm told, Pearson and Dean. Harrison leads the way, almost 450 first-grade performances for the number 8. He is the captain. And number 21, Jackson. He's a former Great Britain second rower. The coach is John Pendlebury, who did his apprenticeship at Wigan. As the Raiders make their way out, still 7 internationals in the squad. No Laurie Daly, no Brett Mullins today, but some familiar names in the side. The flags are waving already as we check the line out for you. Dagus at the back, Lightning and Boyle on the wings. Croker back in the starting 13 for the first time this year. Wiki alongside him, and Burnham in for Laurie Daly. And in the front row, it's DeVico, Brittis and Hetherington. A handy back 3, Kennedy, Ferner and Clyde. The coach, the one and only Mel Meninga. Mike Umanga gets things underway. The first round of the Visa Cup, and it is Luke DeVico. Poor start on defence. Great start, though, by the attacking side. The Canberra Raiders and Royston Lightning already 5 metres inside the Halifax territory. Joining us sideline today is former Canberra Raider Brent Todd. Welcome back to the old stamping ground, Brent.
Yeah, well, it's great to be back here, Greg. I haven't been here since my playing days, and I tell you, I got that spine-tingling feeling when I walk onto this ground. It's a great ground, and it's in fine condition. We are in for an exciting game of football today, as the Raiders have already started so well. And if anybody thinks the Raiders are going to get beaten, think again, because the Raiders today will Bolton. I have to say that for the next Raider.
Getting very close to the line already, and it could be a great start for them. It is! Well, Brent Todd, you picked it. Talk about Bolton. They are in their first set of 6, and the Halifax Blue Sox have been, well, set back on their heels, I tell you. Hetherington bursting over. This is from the kickoff, Gary.
This is great work. Great, but it's great work by DeVico. Just they try to take him up high, try to put him on his back, and didn't he show some speed for a big man, DeVico? I tell you, Umanga does a great job there. He had it to beat him, and he was away laughing. But other than that, the Canberra forwards are just going for it. You see here, Brett Hetherington going for the try. Again, players going low, but he just shows enormous power and strength to get over there. And Brian Grant right on the spot to award the try.
4 points to 0. Another look at it here. Oh, I don't know what was going through the minds of the Halifax players, but they were asleep from the kickoff on defence. So Brett Hetherington, he scores the try, his second for 1997. 8 points now, nearing a century of matches for Canberra. He will be delighted with that start. And David Ferner is about 13 metres in from touch. He'll try and add the extras. Ferner, 62% for this year. This time, though, he's pushed it across the face of the goal. So, no extra points, but a great start. It's 4 points to 0. Brent Todd, what a start.
Yeah, good stuff, and I'm sure the forwards, the Raiders forwards will try and dominate, and really soft defence there from Halifax early on. Their coach won't be happy with that.
The coach, John Pendlebury.
Wait for the whistle, please, David.
He played 2 years for Halifax, as well as 6 for Wigan and 6 for Bradford.
Yep.
Now it is the Canberra Raiders with the restart. Opportunity now for them to regroup. Carl Gillespie plays it about 11 metres out from his own line. Here's the skipper, big Carl Harrison. He's going to lead from the front today. He'll need to get them back on track. This is Michael Jackson, 6 caps for Great Britain, the second rower. Better stuff now, but big defence also. DeVico really drove into Carl Gillespie. One out stuff at the moment by the Blue Sox from Halifax. Back to the halfback Dean. He gets the kick in. Royston Lightning takes it about 21 metres out from his own line. He's been in great form, Royston Lightning.
He certainly has been in great form. That's good defence there by Halifax side, the Red Sox. The Blue Sox, I should say.
Well, they're in maroon jumpers. I guess you're close.
Well, I was pretty close, wasn't I?
12. Hey, go away, Green. Out here, lad. Quick chat, please, man. Mate, we don't want the swinging arm. Hey, you swung the arm, man. It's all right. Beg your pardon? It doesn't matter, mate. You're still going to swing the arm. We don't want it in the pitch.
No wonder Brian Grant, they're asking for that explanation from that player. Baldwin, couldn't understand him. I don't think there was really much in this tackle. I think this is where it comes in now. Oh, it's just a little bit of a facial there, you might say.
And really, they're playing into Canberra's hands if they're going to go in with those swinging arms, because they're not hurting anybody, and it just gives Canberra another set of 6.
Good field position to start the set with. Already inside the Halifax territory. Priddis with the tap out to DeVico. Taken by Rowley, and over the top was Harrison. They drive him back towards the halfway mark. Priddis waits for it again. The try scorer, Hetherington, looking for a gap just wide of the ruck. It's soon closed there. Now it's Burnham. Ferner out wide. Great ball to Nagas. Ken Nagas puts a foot on the pedal, gets through a pretty ordinary tackle at the back, and Kenny Nagas is in for another one. Oh, they're running hot early on here at Bruce Stadium. The Canberra Raiders, they've scored 2 tries in the first 5 minutes. 8 points to 0.
Oh, great work once again, the Canberra Raiders. Not really worried about getting tied up in any mess. There's a great ball by Burnham here. Runs to the line, drops it in short by Ferner. Oh, terrific pace here by Nagas. I thought Umaga had him covered. Comes up with a pretty easy missed tackle there. And Nagas goes in for the second Canberra Raiders try.
And just look for Ruben Wiki on this replay now. Ruben Wiki takes out the player. Just watch him here. He's the decoy runner. Holds the defence up. There he goes. And that's what opened the gap up for the Raiders out wide. And I think they're going to be too strong in the backs.
Well, the early signs suggest that one. Nagas in for his second try. What a season he's having. The New South Wales and Australian representative. Probably his first touch of the football in this match, and he's in for a try. Ominous signs for Halifax here in the World Club Challenge as Ferner moves in. 11 in from touch. It's waved away again. So the radar is offline early on as far as the goal kicking goes, but nothing wrong with the try scoring department.
Yeah, that was a great set of 6 from the Raiders forwards too. They're paving the way, holding on to the ball. If you complete your sets of 6, what I'm trying to say, then this back line will finish it for you. But really, once again, soft defence from this English side.
Of course, the Raiders are without 2 of their big guns in the back line, Laurie Daly and Brett Mullins. Rowley at dummy half.
I'd say they're bigger than big guns, mate. They are cannons, those 2.
Tuolangi plays it in front of his uprights. Now this is Harrison, makes it to the 30, but gets the pass away to Umaga. He looked for support, but it was good defence by Royston Lightning. The Halifax Blue Sox, this is better stuff, and it's the second row. Michael Jackson makes it to halfway. A rare touch of the football inside the Raiders territory for Halifax. Rowley, they have big raps on this man.
5 tackles.
He's only 22, already played 1 test for England. Dean,
In front of the kicker, man.
midfield bomb. Boyle waits for it. They allow it to bounce. Almost giving the football to the Blue Sox because it was the final tackle. In the end, it goes into touch.
There for the changeover. Please play it here. Ball here. Just wait till I get back. I'll give you a call. Wait up. Wait.
Yeah, we see this a lot now in the Super League games where the defending side will let the ball bounce on the ground, then wait for the opposition to take it to finish off that tackle so they do get the ball back again. I think sometimes you really got to take another option and catch the ball and take the tackle for your team.
Well, now it's the Raiders going wide again. It's out wide as Ferner, back to Burnham. Ruben Wiki. Wiki, the inside pass to Royston Lightning. Tried the change of pace, the old goose step almost, but it didn't come off. Now it's Ben Kennedy.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Ricky Stewart having a big one out there. He's already dictating terms. He's doing all the talking right down here on the side. And I'll tell you, I'm that close to them, I might as well be out there playing. Ricky is telling everyone where to go, directing them. He's playing a fine captain's knock.
Now this is Clyde. Brent Todd talking about a comeback. I don't think I heard that, did I? Burnham, the inside pass to Nagas, the try scorer. There's a big gap there. He needed someone on his hip, but wasn't there. And so he took the tackle on the final tackle now. Stewart, the long ball over the top. It's been knocked on and towed ahead by Halifax. The referee will bring them back for the handover. A mistake on the final tackle, the knock-on to be played. They look dangerous again, the Raiders.
They certainly do. Out wide, they are catching Halifax out quite easily. The problem is when you have a slide defence, if you have guys going through like Ruben Wiki taking out those players, you will come up short of numbers. But isn't it nice to hear a referee, Toddy, saying, bring back that ball, please?
Yes, well, I'm glad he's not speaking to someone like you. He probably would have copped a mouthful.
You want to worry about your own game.
We'll get back to this game. And it is Halifax 10 from halfway.
I think Halifax, if they're going to try and get and match it with Canberra, they've got to go wide early on the tackles. Canberra not really chasing at all. I think that will benefit them in there, especially in their attack. It's a great kick.
Clearing kick. And Lightning will pick it up inside the in-goal area. Oh, got out of it. No problem whatsoever. In the end, he was taken there by the number 4, Asaramoni. Nagus allowed to offload to DeVico. He got it away to Kennedy. Now they've got some numbers over on the far side. Croker starting to warm up. He got it over here to David Boyle. And Boyle's going to race away. They're not going to catch him from there. From one end of the field to the other. David Boyle will put it down underneath the black dot. And that's 3 tries in the opening 10 minutes to the Canberra Raiders. I'd like to have a look at the final pass. It could be termed a line ball, but the points are on the board. 12 points to 0.
Oh, they are just devastating from broken play again. This guy here, Nagus, gets out of one, drops the ball. This is a great ball by DeVico. That ball there, I thought, looked a bit forward too. This is Croker. Oh, that is about half a metre in forward. Half a metre forward, that ball. But anyway, now they pay for the try there. He's only been back for a couple of games as Boyle as he goes virtually nearly underneath the post.
12 points to 0. Let's have a look at this final pass again. Croker, he was drawing the last line of defence. He knew he had Boyle unmarked on the outside and, well, looked to be a half a metre forward, almost in front of you, Brent Todd.
Well, it was right in front of me, and as much as it hurts me to say that was a forward pass, but it doesn't matter because the points are on the board and Canberra are hot.
I think it does matter to the Halifax side. I think the linesman should have picked that up. He was in line running down the field there, Toddy. It's a little bit disappointing because Halifax had defended well for the first 3 tackles of that start.
Well, in effect, really, there was no need for Boyle to overrun Croker because he was unmarked. Line breaks at the moment. Canberra 4-0, and they've managed to score 3 tries. It was converted by Ferner from right in front, as you would expect. Harrison got it over to Bouvang, and the former Cowboy from North Queensland is tackled.
Yeah, I was talking to Mal Winninger a little bit earlier before the game, and he said one thing that his team has worked on is their defence, and really they are muscling up here in defence and putting in some big hits. And you'll see the Canberra side, when they get a little bit of a lead, they'll play with a lot of arrogance and start pushing the pass and really trying things because they know that they're going to win this game. I think we're in for a big scoreline.
Up over halfway. That's Michael Jackson. Put it through the hands of Moana. We haven't seen much of him. Now it's out to Budayo Powell. And Powell had to pop it out the back door to keep it alive. Pearson linking up with Umunga. He's taken DeVico over the top and Ferner underneath. Final tackle coming up. They go to the short side. Moana with the grubber kick. Off the legs.
Still 5 and last.
It's still 5 and last. It wasn't played at, according to the referee.
Yeah, I thought Boyle played at that ball. Dean, you're saying it's just a ricochet off the boot there, but he thought he stuck his foot out there to try and stop that ball going over the line.
So maybe a couple of calls going against the Halifax at the moment. Right under pressure, the visitors are. That time, 3 or 4 of them are in there to drive DeVico back inside his own half. Kennedy. What a season Ben Kennedy's having, the leading try scorer for the Canberra Raiders. 9 tries. Now it's Stewart. Just directing the traffic. Croker. Inside pass to Nagus. Ken Nagus with the fullback to beat. Got it over to Boyle. Boyle went without it, though. A let-off there for Halifax. Every time Nagus comes into the back line, there is something special about to happen.
Oh, how scary is that when you turn around? This bloke comes in from the back line. A great inside ball here. And once again, catching that sliding defence. And I thought Boyle was away for all money. Great ball there by Croker. Nagus does a great job here. Watch this, in and away. Gets the ball around them. Oh, There was no one in front of him to stop him scoring another try.
Yeah, and it's one thing having a guy. That's the big thing about the Raiders, having someone like Ricky Stewart.
Outside prop, please, Carl. Outside foot, Carl. That's better.
He's got so many options, hasn't he? I'm just trying to work around the ref there, boys. He's got so many options really in his game, and you know, that face pass, he can cut out players, he can do what he wants. He's a little genius.
Ciramoni plays it. Now it's Umaga.
Stand up again, no hands.
To the short side they work. Michael Jackson. And he's been pretty impressive. He likes to take the ball forward, Jackson. They need plenty of that from his fellow Blue Sox team members. The inside pass, but the Raiders read it pretty well. 5 from halfway. Rowley at dummy half. Pearson, the 5'8", looking for his outside men. No way of piercing the defence there. Baldwin, the second row, was standing out wide, but they read that pretty well. And now the kick finds touch. So they completed the set of 6 on that occasion. I guess their coach, John Pendlebury, will breathe a sigh of relief.
Carl? Carl? Are you familiar with the downtown situation from the play the ball? Just be a bit careful of that. Don't go past the play the ball. Yeah, from the kick. Don't go past the play the ball before he plays it. I'll try and help you.
Well, Dean puts in a great kick there, but I think in that situation there, Canberra players were really harassing him, and I think what they should do is let the ball out a bit wider, Greg. I think they would have got him on the left-hand side because there was no one there in defence for Canberra. They've gone all chasing the kicker. I think they should try and run on that last tackle.
Well, now it is the Raiders, about 22 out from their own line. On attack, and Ruben Wiki got away from a couple. Still going is Ruben Wiki. Great run by the Kiwi international.
I'm glad he didn't score a try there because I wouldn't be able to go through all the players that missed him.
Royston Lightning waits for it at dummy half. Ferner, big line-up out to the left. The inside pass pays off again. Ben Kennedy with a bit of room to move. Kennedy got away from 1, 2. What a try! Ben Kennedy underneath the black dot. That's the 4th try to the Canberra Raiders. 18 points to 0. Simple stuff in the end. Terrible defence, but Ben Kennedy moves into double figures now. That's his 10th try for the season.
Well, the defence of the Halifax side, you know, a little bit disappointing. We're going right back now here through to Ruben Wiki. He pushes off about half a dozen of the side here. And look, they're just falling off tackles that they should be making. I don't know whether it's that travel time in the air from England to here that's really put them off their game here today, but some of their defence, you see big Carl Harrison going in there to try and slow it down. But again, Ricky Stewart directing traffic, another inside ball. If you do slide in defence, you've got to have cover from the other side. And he's just pushing away tacklers as he goes over for the try.
Under the black dot.
Hey, come to me later on, mate, because we've got a break. I reckon I talk a load of crap anyway.
No comment there.
Thanks, David.
Wide for sound. Brian Grant, the referee. And from right in front, David Ferner adds the extra 2. So it is now 20 points to 0.
And Halifax are making a change. Chris Chester's going on for Martin Moana.
Well, I don't know which players that he was talking about there, Brian Grant, but he does try and help the players throughout the game, which is great to see referees doing nowadays. As Toddy said, I think Toddy would have said something about that scrum to get the ball in.
Missed tackles at the moment. Halifax have fallen off 10 compared to Canberra's 2. That's telling the story at the moment. Now this is Carl Gillespie, the front rower. Trapped about 15 out from their line again. It's important for the Blue Sox to regain some composure here to complete another good set of 6. A lot of pride on the line here for Halifax.
Well, that's one thing that Halifax have to do. They have to control the ball for the set of 6, get a good go forward and get a good kick and chase, and they're just not doing it. They're really pushing the pass, playing catch-up football and just playing as individuals and dropping the ball like that.
When you think about the history of the game, Halifax have been around since 1895. That's when the clubs in the northern part of England broke away from the rugby union, as it was called in those days. So they've been around for a heck of a long time. 2 championships in 1906-07 and 64 and 65. Possession at the moment going Canberra's way, 73%. That's why they have this handy lead at the moment, 20 points to 0. Time in their own half, Halifax 59% in their own half, which suggests that Canberra are very capable of scoring from inside their own half, like they've done on a couple of occasions. Sloppy handling by Canberra, and now Halifax have it. So they've won 2 championships. They've had 5 Challenge Cup victories, and of course they've had a long association with Australian coaches in particular. Steve Sims, John Dorahy, Ross Stradwick, Graham Eadie, and the current Bulldogs coach from Canterbury, Chris Anderson, was there in the early 80s as well.
Stand up.
Couple of metres inside the Raiders' territory. Now it is Halifax trying the inside pass, but it doesn't pay off for them. Gillespie tackled.
I think Halifax has got to go the left-hand side here. They come right, but on the left-hand side, there's no Canberra players whatsoever.
Dio Powell.
Look at that left-hand side there. They've got to go wide. Even on the last tackle, they should have a look running the ball. Once again, they're putting the kick in. Oh. I thought he was going for a line out, Dean.
Out on the full.
But see, the option there is the player, Dean, should have some players outside calling the ball, because there was plenty of room to move on that left-hand side. Canberra will not move up whatsoever.
Errors, 3-2.
Carl, give us a hand, please, son. One, I'll keep talking to you. I'll keep helping you as much as I can, man. One.
Ferner, ranging wide over on the far side. Critis, about 8 metres inside Halifax territory. Long ball, Croker. Got on the inside of his man. Here's Nagus again. He's going to have too much space. Nagus is in for a double. He'll run around and put it down pretty close to the black dot, just to the left of the uprights in the end. 24 points to 0. Well, it's turning out to be a real score-a-thon here at Bruce Stadium, and we've just gone past the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, once again, Ricky Stewart directing traffic. Nice long ball there, but the tackling in around the middle there. Jackson missing a tackle, and too much pace as Nagus got for Umaga. He might have scored 5 tries for his Halifax side a few years ago, but we're watching tries go past him again.
Yes, he said plenty of work to do at the back, Mike Umaga. It was all started there when Croker managed to get on the inside, get the hands free, and Kenny Nagus, very deceptive runner. It looks as if the defence is going to get to him. Then all of a sudden he puts the foot on the gas and he charges away. So Nagus gets a double today. That's his 3rd for the year. And there's a real huddle in goal at the moment. Brian Grant just waiting for Ferner to try and add the extra 2, and the soul searching goes on.
That wave time back line if I had
it. No mistake from there. What about the scoreline now? 26 points to 0. Canberra, the Raiders, over Halifax.
Yes, that little man, Ricky Stewart, is controlling things out there, but I think Mel Winninger knows that this English side, they're pretty strong on the forward, so the ball is always going to go wide out to their classy backs, Canberra. When you've got speed like this, speed to burn, you've got to use it. And they certainly are doing that today, Canberra, and doing it with class.
So 5 tries to the home side. Umaga turns it back on the inside. 26, Richard Marshall is out there for a taste of the football from the interchange bench.
Yes, and he's replaced Asia Mona. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm pretty sure I did.
Pick you up on it.
It was a good try anyway, Toddy.
Yeah, thanks very much, you blokes.
For Eddie Tuolungi. He played it. Now it's back to Marshall again. Rowley at dummy half. Picks up Gillespie. He's about 8 metres inside Canberra territory. Rowley with the kick. Nobody at the back. So a bit of pressure on here. Is it going to go dead? No. Yes! Now, Brian Grant might want to have a look at this one. He does.
Wardy, have a look at it. Have a look at it, Wardy.
David Boyle almost wishing the ball to go over the dead ball. So the video referee called into play for the first time. Chris Ward in control of it today. No real pressure on Boyle here. He had a look over his shoulder, could see that he had a bit of time to move and play with this ball.
I think the ball goes dead, Greg. right on the line. That's
touch and go, but in the end, it was well left.
It was well left. Like you said, Boyle leaves it there, but good chase there through the Halifax side. Jackson, I think, came through, trying to put the pressure on them.
So no try.
Yeah, thanks for your help, mate.
And a little knock on.
Knock on. No.
So the Raiders coughing up the football inside their own half. And this will give Halifax their best opportunity so far in the match. They're desperate for points. Deans puts it in, takes it out. Over it goes to Pearson, having a dart on his own. Taken by his opponent today, Jason Burnham. Umunga at dummy half, having a run. Turns it back on the inside to Bobang. Getting very close to the line now. Desperate defence there.
Two tackles.
Dean looking for runners on the far side. Over it goes now. This is Dio Powell. Powell taken. Better stuff by Halifax. They're down by 26 points to 0, 10 metres out. Dean, big line up out to the left again. This time it's Pearson, shows it on the inside, eventually turns it infield to Umunga up from fullback. He was taken in a good tackle there by Ferner. Across the face of the uprights and they keep it alive. This is Gillespie now. He's tackled by Stewart and also Croker. Rowley at dummy half. Dean kicking for the corner. Lightning is back there for the Raiders. They're coming through on him and it seemed to touch. The player touched the post over there. The try line post. What are they going to do?
Have a look at that one. Can you talk to Woody? Can he understand you? He can't hear me. Tell him what we're looking for.
I think the ball's gone back to me from Halifax to hit the corner post before it landed the door.
Touch judge telling Brian Grant that he feels the player has touched the corner flag. Knockback okay so far. Wiki didn't control it. But the ball hit the post, so it's out of play.
Who did it come off, though? Hey, who did it come off?
Waiting for the decision.
Goal line drop out. No try, but we're going to goal line drop out, are we? All right. Back here, boys. Let's come off you, fellas. Goal line, come off you, fellas. Thank you.
No try. Yes, the ball hit the corner flag before Halifax could get it down.
Come off Canberra.
That's a great decision there by the linesman there. He knew what happened straight away. So the ball touched the corner flag. And then Ruben Wiki knocked on at the same time before the ball went out.
Ricky Stewart. Goal line dropout. Umunga back towards halfway. 22 is Carl Gillespie.
Check, please, David. Keep the talk going.
It's a pretty good field position again for the Blue Sox. Ferretti, Tuolangi.
Give us a heat hand, Luke. Drop your mates, please.
Rowley at dummy half. Dean looking for runners and he finds Jackson.
Three.
Dean. Pearson. Goes down a couple of players, bringing Umunga in from fullback. And Dio Powell, the Welsh international.
Have that play on. Play on.
Lost it. Play on is the call. It came off the boot. And Umunga driven back in the tackle. 18 metres out from the line. Inside the Canberra red zone. Harrison. Big Carl. Takes it to the 10-metre mark. Final tackle coming up now. Dean, they're going to run it. Pearson, they go wide, and that's a good tackle over on the far side. Ruben Wiki just came in and shut the movement down. The second rower, Baldwin, was ranging wide, but he had nowhere to go.
A lot of sides try and get on the outside of Ruben Wiki, but he just lines you up and says, see you later. Look at the drive from the legs, takes him down. That's a tremendous tackle.
Yeah, it's all about timing, isn't it? There used to be a player here called Dean Lance who could tackle like that. It's all about timing. If you connect at the right time, you'll always drive them back.
Royston Lightning. Ferner.
Luke Prentice there on the sideline with a little bad cut on his right eye.
And Simon Wilford's gone on for him.
So that's the blood bin. This match being played under international rules, so they can make 6 interchanges. And that doesn't include the blood bin changes.
No hands there. We enjoy your life, but that's not going to rule. 3.
The players here from the Canberra side really coming up with a couple of mistakes in the last probably 3 sets of 6 with drop ball. Can't see, just as he gets up now. Oh, not really getting up the play of the ball, Kennedy, but the player, Halifax player, was holding him down.
Come on, get down there, son. Get down there. Hey, he wants a loose head, son. That's a red loose head. Now, roll his head, son.
Dean puts it in.
Yep, out.
Big drive on from the Canberra team, and that is one against the feed.
Stand away.
So Canberra screwing the scrum on that occasion, and now it's Clyde coming away with it. Nothing going right for Halifax in the first half here at Bruce Stadium.
Well, that's pretty poor, the scrummage play, using the... Oh, there's a mistake by Bradley Clyde, which you won't see every day.
Chris Chester keeping it alive, out to Tuolangi. He's on the 30-metre mark now. So they've had plenty of opportunities inside Canberra territory in recent minutes, Halifax.
2 in there. No, 2. 1.
They get the penalty here.
2 men in the tackle. Oh, mate, what was he doing there?
Stealing the ball. It was not a one-on-one situation as we have a look here. Definitely 2 tackles there. There's the arm ripping the ball out. Penalty to Halifax. Now it's Pearson out wide. Umunga lost momentum. He was in 2 minds whether to keep going or cut back in field. Almost spilt the football in the end. Now it's Dean again. The inside pass to his skipper, Harrison. Good tackle, though, by Hetherington. They're inside the red zone. It is Dean. Out wide it goes now to Chester. Chester keeping the ball alive, 8 metres short. Halifax still with no points on the board. Bit of pressure on the Canberra defence, and out wide Lightning's on his own, but he manages to get it into touch.
Canberra touch.
Plenty of pressure on Royston Lightning. It will be the Blue Sox with the feed.
Well, this will be nearly 18 tackles in a row if Halifax can hold the ball. You see Royston Lightning had plenty of time to catch that ball. He'd be a little bit disappointed in himself. Bouvang coming through and putting pressure on him. But again, the Canberra side really have gone to sleep after getting away with 26 points to 0.
Get down, Canberra. Now roll it. Roll it.
Scrum about 8 metres out. Pearson. And it goes to Powell. Powell on to Baldwin.
With the way Canberra defend, they love to slide too on their line. I think what Halifax have got to do is got to start dropping players back inside.
Dio Powell, 8 metres out from the line. Tuolangi takes him on. The former Western Samoan Rugby Union international. Rowley waits for it at dummy half. Dean pushing it wide again. And over there is Chester. Chester got it over to Bouvang. He cut back in field, but the cover got across there. He's been told to play it. He was tempted to try and put the ball down over the line. That would have been a double movement. Kicking it behind the line now. A real chase here. The referee looks at it. He wants to have a look at it on the video. And Chris Ward, the video referee, has been called into play again. Halifax believe they've scored their first try. Great kick into the in goal by the Blue Sox.
Yeah, Dean going to the line here, getting a great kick in. Once again, Nagus trying to get the ball down. I think that's a fair try.
Get over to the onside as well.
He's onside a mile here. The referee saying they're going to look for the onside, but he is onside by a mile.
Yeah, you happy, son? Yeah, good idea, man.
Well weighted this kick. Ken Nagus trying to get there first of all. Couldn't make it though. And so
I think Gillespie scored that try there.
Wait for it to come up. Wait, don't kick it, please.
They're on the board at long last. Well executed to that try. Gillespie with the first touchdown for the Halifax Blue Sox. The front rower, 26 points to 4 now.
Yes, it's the only way that Halifax seem to be able to break the line. The defence has been pretty good from Canberra. That little kick in behind. I can't believe the referee called for that. He was right there. They've got to make a decision, and that was a fair try. Good stuff.
So Dean, the halfback, directing the traffic. Gillespie was onside, and he beat Nagus to the ball. 7 tries this year to Carl Gillespie. So he's now scored 7 tries in his last 9 matches. So he's in pretty good form, the front rower.
Canberra made a change. Quinton Pongi has gone on.
And that try was converted. So still a 20-point ball game. 26-6. Hetherington drives himself to the 30-metre mark. Clyde with a good run. Easy meters right up the middle for Bradley Clyde. To the short side, Stewart. Goes it to Kennedy. Ben Kennedy got on the outside of his man. Fona's on the inside. The second rower trying to get away from Tuolangi. Couldn't do so. He wrapped him up, ball and all. But it's the Canberra Raiders ready to hit back again. Croker to Stewart. Out wide now. Burnham. Numbers on the far side. It's not a great pass. Lightning comes back and cleans it up. He's left it behind. It goes into touch. So a bit of a let-off. They had numbers on the far side, the Raiders, but they couldn't finish it off.
And if they had finished, that was another certain 4 points on the board. Ricky Stewart getting involved again. Jason Burnham just going a little bit too far there. Hetherington come up with a missed tackle. Royston Lightning dropping the ball and it goes out. Let off really for the Halifax side. I think a message from Mel Manning has gone out to the Canberra forwards. Let's get going for. Let's not be too fancy even though you're that far in front.
I'll play it. Stand up, lads. Give it.
Baldwin, 31 out from his own line. Umunga, pretty keen to come up and take on some of the hard yards from fullback.
Thanks, Ken.
Dio Powell had a stint with the Perth Reds a couple of seasons ago. Pearson.
All lads, come on, work with me.
He was an easy target in the end for Ruben Wiki on the halfway mark. Dean, the inside pass, they lose their footing there, and Marshall will play it. Dean again, under a bit of pressure, gets the kick in over the top of the fullback Nagus. He gets a good bounce in goal though. So dangerous from broken play is Kenny Nagus. This time though, they wrap him up. It's a good chase by Gillespie and also Tuolangi. Clyde just probing wide of the ruck. Looking for half a gap.
He's a fine player, Bradley Clyde. From a kick return, you'll find he is always the first player back there to take it up, and it really takes a bit of a load off the 2 front rowers to get back now, as you see Quinton Pongia taking the next one.
Pongia back from a bit of a breakthrough injury. Now it's Wiki through the tackle. Wiki got it over to Lightning, but he had overrun the pass. It wasn't a great pass anyway, and they were lucky that the ball stayed in the field of play.
Well, Wiki and Lightning certainly causing a lot of havoc for that left-hand side defence.
2 men in there with a hand. Break out. Same as over the other side.
You are allowed to rip the ball out if it's a one-on-one situation. Once there are 2 defenders in there, they cannot play at the football. So the penalty goes to Canberra and Ricky Stewart. Kicking his side into very good field position yet again.
Wait for it, Carl. Wait, Carl. Yep.
Walford turns it back on the inside. David Wesley is on there. Wolford a dummy half. Now it's Pongia. Good meters by Quinton Pongia.
And again
a penalty.
What's the other man doing there, man? He's not there for holiday, right? 2 men in the tackle. Not you there, man. Oh, no, wait. Oh, sorry, mate. It's over here. What do they want to do? I'll win like a stuffed pig. Yeah, I'll play some advantage here. I'll play some advantage.
It's like a stand-up comedy routine out in the middle with Brian Grant. Does a lot of talking. He's 19 metres out now as the play the ball happens, and it's Nagus running from dummy half, taking them on. The gap soon closed though. Michael Jackson was there. Wolford. Inside pass to Pongia. Pongia out the back door to Wesley. Wesley getting very close, and Wesley is in for the try beside the uprights. David Wesley, and that's the 6th try for the Canberra Raiders. They've hit the 30-point mark. It is now 13 points to 6, still 5 and a bit minutes remaining.
Well, Quinton Pongia's only been on for around about 8 to 10 minutes. and really is taking the ball forward. Pops a lovely ball there to Wesley. Still had a little bit of work to do here. Steps inside a couple of plays. Umaga come over at the last minute. It just doesn't manage to do it.
Yeah, it's those decoy runners too. Ricky Stewart there really taking the defence across and opening up a little bit for Quinton. But Quinton's showing lots of strength there. He's come back from injury, and this man here has got plenty of power close to the line, and he takes over Jackson and Umaga.
I think Jackson, if he'd gone low there, Todd, he probably could have stopped him around about a metre out. But as you said, Quinton Ponga, a lot of skill and strength. He goes to the line. If you've got runners, mate, you can do anything on the football field.
Second try in 97, and it was converted, as you would expect, from close range by David Furner. So 32 points to 6 now. Big Carl Harrison, 33 years of age now, the captain, and his side in deep trouble. The restart by the Raiders. Halifax will need to control this football and keep the Raiders out now. Getting close to the half-time break. Tuolangi. Harrison. Big Carl has played 14 tests for Great Britain, 6 for England. A lot of experience.
Well, that ball was forward. The dummy half.
Umaga plays it.
Halifax have made another change. Paul Heighton has gone on. I think coach is starting to panic a little bit. Using up a few of his changes. He's going to run out pretty soon.
Get your boots on, Donny, if he's panicking.
To make a comeback for Halifax and not the Raiders. 10 from halfway. Burnham.
One tackle now, men. Come on, work with me, lads.
Burnham filling in some big shoes today, that of Laurie Daly. And he's basically had a mistake-free first half, apart from a wobbly pass over on the far side.
And can you imagine if Laurie Daly and Brett Mullins were out there? Oh.
He's into touch.
Thanks, Michael.
David Boyle, one of the 6 try scorers.
You want the loose head?
Tuolangi doing a great job there on Boyle, bringing him over the sideline. At least his side will get the ball back. Just under 3 minutes to go in the game. That's a good tackle. Showed plenty of strength to bring him over the sideline. Not an easy thing to do. The Halifax side really going to throw caution to the wind and really try and attack every stage of the game now.
Pearson.
Okay, come up for one.
Chester at dummy half. This is Jackson, taken by Furner. Baldwin.
Jackson's been impressive. Does take the ball forward very, very good. Problem is he has no backup.
Harrison, 10 metres inside Canberra territory. Rowley. Did well to get back to the feet and keep the ball alive, but they're a bit flat-footed out wide. Now it's Chester trying to get through. Taken by Stewart underneath. Over the top it was Clyde. Final tackle coming up. Dean. Midfield bomb. Nagus takes it brilliantly.
Ruben Wiki takes out a player there, takes out Dean. Nagus is away.
Great return of the football again by Kenny Nagus. 30 out from his own line. Stewart. Croker. Croker's about 5 from halfway. Time running out in the first half if they want more points.
We go back to there. See, Ruben Wiki takes out Dean there. That is a dead set penalty underneath the post there for Halifax.
Well, it's play on, and it is Wolford at dummy half a metre inside Halifax territory. Switch of play, they go to the open side. Burnham brings a player on the inside. Furner, he's got the high one. Let's listen to the referee.
21, come on. There we go. Hey, come out. Mate, it's been a pretty good game up there. Okay, nice and hard. He stepped inside. You leave that part alone, please. Yeah.
Michael Jackson been penalised for the high shot on David Furner.
I don't think anything was intentional there by Jackson. He's had a fine game, as I said, in this first half. Probably their best forward. Just a little bit high. Nothing really malice in that tackle at all.
30-metre mark now. About a minute remaining. Pongia pops it out the back door. It's been picked up by Simon Wolford with the step. Wolford with the try. They're in again. The Canberra Raiders 36 points to 6 now. And that is the 7th try in the first half of this Visa Cup World Club Challenge at Bruce Stadium. All smiles. Well, he really wasn't entitled to score that one. There were plenty of defenders around him, but he just put the step on and put the foot on the gas, and it was all over.
It certainly was all over. You see Quinton Ponga taking the ball to the line. Here he is going for a strike, but he just turns Harrison that around, and he had no chance of stopping him. Once again, go on, Brent.
Sorry, Gary. I'm just going to butt it and say the defence from Halifax is very soft. You see Quinton Ponga there, I mean, there was 2 or 3 players, but he's still able to unload, and that's just been the story of the day. They're just not putting Canberra on their backs and slowing to play the balls down, are they?
No, they're certainly not. But the big thing when Quinton did go forward there, the ball did roll out off the back of his leg, and then Wolford was there to pick the ball up as he kicks for goal.
Sends it through the uprights. So as the half-time siren sounds, what about the scoreline after 40 minutes of football? The Canberra Raiders, they lead by 38 points to 6. 8 points to 6. The Raiders with the restart. The second 40 underway here at Bruce Stadium. And Umunga met by a couple of very heavy tacklers in Ponga and also Wesley. 20 from halfway. Can they settle into some sort of pattern? The Blue Sox, they were rocked from the opening minutes. And Paul Highton plays it. Some of the younger players out there.
That's a great defence there by Quinton Ponga on Jackson.
Here's Harrison.
That's 5 now, lads. 5. David. Thank you, man. 5.
There's the kick, and they're going to find touch.
Bring it inside, please, man. I got a line here.
Once again, Dean getting the kick in.
What's he doing?
So the scrum's going to pack down about 15 metres inside Canberra territory. Well, let's get the word from the Halifax Blue Sox coaching staff, and the assistant coach is Nicholas Kiss.
Come on, get up.
Thanks for joining us on Fox Sports. Nicholas, what was the message? Obviously, you're disappointed.
Well, definitely disappointed with our first half performance, insofar as we need our first up defence to be a bit tighter and have a bit more bite.
I think you'd have to be pretty happy with some of the way that some players are playing. That's Jackson. Oh, Nagus is away.
We'll come back to Nicholas Kiss. At the moment, it's Kenny Nagus putting the foot on the gas again, and he's got a hat-trick. 3 tries to Ken Nagus, and after a minute and a half of the second half, the Canberra Raiders are in again. So it is 42 points to 6 now. We'll get back to Nicholas Kiss, but Nicholas, that is not the start you wanted. Stay with us. Let's have another look at it here. Some pathetic defence by Halifax.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing there. Umunga missing the tackle, and once the ball is in the hands of Nagus, it's around about a 75-metre chase to the line, and Dean does his best to try and get there, Craig Dean, but just can't match the flying fullback for Canberra.
So that is try number 8 for Canberra. Nicholas Kiss, thanks for standing by, but that's not the start you wanted in the second 40.
No, unfortunately not.
Well, Nicholas, I know it's pretty hard from where you're standing now, mate, but what are you got to do to try and fix this up?
Well, basically, like I said before, the first up defence, it's got to be moving in and having more bite and a bit more construction out wide.
I think a couple of the players that have played well for you today, I thought Michael Jackson's had a pretty fair game along with Harrison. Young Craig Dean does all right around the ruck area, but he does need some more help from his forwards.
Yeah, definitely so, but we are a young squad, and basically this is quite a learning curve for us and all over here. But you just can't make mistakes on the scale that we're making them time after time after time.
Well, let's hope that things get better on the remainder of your trip down under. Thanks for joining us, Nicholas Kiss, the assistant coach for Halifax, and the conversion was not successful. So it is 42 points to 6. Nagus with the hat-trick, and it is the restart now for the Canberra Raiders. Well, I don't know what Mel Meninga said at half-time. We'll find out pretty shortly as we talk to his assistant, Craig Bellamy. It's Tuolangi now. 20 metres out from the Halifax line. To the short side, they work it. Royston Lightning comes in off the wing to shut the movement down. Paul Highton, 20 years of age, one of the youngsters that Nicholas Kiss was talking about. Now this is a veteran. Carl Harrison, Rowley at dummy half. Final tackle. Back to Dean. He was under pressure. It was a good chase from marker by Wolford. There's the kick. And Royston Lightning will eventually pick it up 20 out from his own line. And they're there to meet him, Michael Jackson and also Baldwin. Craig Bellamy, Melbourne Inga's assistant at Canberra. He'll be pretty delighted with that first 40-odd minutes.
Yes, Greg, it was excellent. Obviously, we wanted to show our attitude to the game was good, and I think we showed that through our defence, which was excellent.
Craig, I think the best thing about it was your attacking, but also your defence. You got away to a great scoreline, but the boys are still defending well.
Yeah, obviously, Gary, we think we can score points against any sides, but like, as I said, we just wanted to show our professionalism today with our defence, and the guys have done that, and we're pretty determined now to do the same in the second half.
Well, I guess there's not much more we can say, Craig. Kenny Nagas, he thought he might have been away for try number 4, but it's an awesome green machine back in action at Bruce today. Craig, thanks for your time and best of luck for the remainder of the World Club Challenge.
Yes,
thanks very much, Greg.
You're loose and feed, lad.
So half a chance there. Burnham, the inside pass, just a shade forward was the ruling.
Shade forward? It was about 1.5 metres forward, if that's a shade.
Yeah, that's what I call a shade.
Fair enough.
A pair of sunglasses. Now it's Umaga, up from fullback. 9 from halfway.
That's what's really has hurt the Halifax side is that inside ball all day long, Greg, that every time they turn it back, they made plenty of yards up in the middle.
Stand away. Wait, Rick. 2. Thanks for your help.
Dean calling the runners. And on the inside, he's got Paul Highton.
David, thanks for your call.
No way through there, though. Great Canberra defence around the ruck. Marshall.
Check.
Couple of metres inside the Raiders' territory. Switch of play. But again, the Raiders had no trouble shutting down the movement. Dean plays it. Rowley gets the kick in. David Boyle picks it up. 8 or 9 metres out from his own line. The chasers are there, and Boyle stepping on the inside will eventually go to ground. The man that kicked the ball did the tackling, Rowley. This is Kennedy.
Let's have a look at it out there. Wide, fellas.
Wolford at dummy half.
No good. I'll get some advantage out of it, though. Come on, Carl, got to help us, lads. 2, that's better.
12 from halfway. The inside pass. And Wesley almost to halfway. Wolford from dummy half was going to have a run on his own. Eventually got it out the back line. And standing out there was the second rower, Furner. He was taken by Powell. Stewart. Wiki with the thin. Ruben Wiki heading for the try line. Umaga shut him down on that occasion, but they're on the final tackle now, and Wolford gets it to Stewart. Stewart to Burnham. Numbers on the far side. It is 3 on 2. They cut back in field, and it is Jason Croker that scores the try. He'll be delighted with that. Has sat out about 11 weeks of the Telstra Cup in the Australasian competition because of injury. Only his second match back, and he's on the score sheet for the first time in 97.
You happy with that? But that goes down to Ricky Stewart once again, looking like he's going to throw the ball inside and pops it on the outside. Then it was just straight hole running. Bradley Clyde's a magnificent job there, and Croker really goes unopposed underneath the post virtually. It goes right back. You see the guy get out of dummy half here at Woodford. Ricky just sort of folds across the paddock. But the sliding defence of the Halifax side, they've got to go up. They've got to make sure they commit somebody or take somebody in defence.
Croker with the touchdown just to the left of the uprights. 46-6. Kick to come. Handy position for Furner. The flags are up. So they're nearing the half century. 48 points to 6 now. Brad Todd, nothing wrong with the Raiders start to the second half.
No, it's been a great start, a sensational start. No wonder Melbourne is winking at me all the time. But listen, I just think those play the balls from the Canberra Raiders are just far too quick for Halifax. They haven't got time to set their defence, and they're getting a great roll on. And their defence, well, I say defence, there is no defence out there from Halifax. It's like touch football, and Canberra are really enjoying themselves.
Michael Umaga did a magnificent job before bringing down Ruben Wiki. When he didn't make a break again, it was Ricky Stewart's long ball out to Wiki. Big right-hand fan really put them under a lot of pressure.
So the best tackles, Halifax 20 to Canberra's 3. That's been the story of the day. They're just not committing themselves. The first up tackles. Michael Jackson, he's still trying. He's about 12 from halfway. Now this is Marshall. Richard Marshall. Got it out the back door. They keep it alive. Gillespie plays it. Raleigh. Well, there's just no room for them around the ruck. When are they going to learn? I'd like to see them use a little bit of their South Pacific flair out wide in Tuolangi, Amoni, and Umunga up from the back. Now it's Royston Lightning to Nagus, and Nagus goes straight ahead. Taken around the bootlaces by Harrison. Play on, penalty. Harrison standing in the play the ball area.
See Harrison now holding on to Nagus's leg. He stands there saying, I'm out of the play, I'm out of the play. I think he might as well just played on there instead of giving him a penalty. Well, there's Bradley Clyde kicking for the sideline. Well, not a bad kick for the big fella.
Wolford with the tap. Now it's Pongia.
Stand up, stand up.
Makes it to halfway. Interesting statistic as we see a problem in there.
I know it's marginal. You just have a quick chat. I know it's marginal. I know what you're trying to do. But as you come in quick, sometimes the judgment's out. Just make an effort for us, eh?
Oh, what can you say?
I don't know. Wesley take
control.
Yeah, Marshall Gus going a fraction high there. Wesley looking up the referee said, hey, that's not supposed to happen. And gets the penalty.
Kicks in general play, Halifax 14, Canberra nothing. So Canberra haven't had to use their kicks in general play. They've been able to score tries from just about any area of the park. Halifax have had no other option but to kick on the final tackle. Now it's Wesley inside the Halifax red zone. 19 metres out, right in front of the uprights. Ricky Stewart, the switcher play to Wolford. Wolford to Ferner. Ferner, he's made it to the 10-metre mark. Burnham, Clyde, over it goes to Croker. Oh, simple stuff in the end. So Jason Croker has got a double. He's just checking to see if he grounded the football. He wants to have a look at it on the video replay. Jason Croker, really, it looked as if he was just trotting through the gap.
Once again, you see that Tuolangi really holding off. Thought the winger might get the ball here. Oh, this will be an interesting one. Oh, well, I know he's got the ball down, but whether he had controlled the last second, Tuolangi just coming over the top there. I just need the end on version. I think he might have dropped the ball.
Video referee called on here, and he's got a bit of a tough one. Looks to, oh, did he place the downward pressure before the ball hit the ground? Waiting for the decision. It's on its way. No try.
Time back on.
Croker thought he had a double.
He didn't really look that confident though, did he, Greg? When he walked back, he said, oh, well, if I get it, I get it. But I'm not real sure if I did get that ball down.
I guess when you lead by 42 points, you don't really sweat on decisions like that, do you? So 22 metres out from their own line, Halifax.
It was good for Brian Grant to use that video replay.
That's what it's there for, when you're not certain.
Well, not certain. He should use it, and that's what he did. Good decision. Big Carl Harrison taking the ball forward there.
Rowley at dummy half, out to Dean. There's a line-up out wide. Canberra's sliding defence, getting across there now, though. Pearson, and Pearson losing the football, and it's play on, so it's back in the hands of the Canberra Raiders, and Bradley Clyde stepping his way up over halfway. Moana is on there. Stewart to nobody, picked up by Burnham. Quick hands, great hands, and now it is Nagus. Nagus down the touchline, kicking on the inside. The chase is on, and Nagus won the race. It's another try. Kenny Nagus has got 4 tries.
I think Michael Jackson has pushed him on to get the ball.
Great skills by Ken Nagus, though. He knew the fullback was coming across, so he said, I've got a kicking game as well.
Great hands by Jason Burnham. And the ball, not really sure. Ricky Stewart wasn't sure who the ball was going to, but the hands from the Canberra side. This is real good skill here. Watch this, the ball bounces up for him beautifully. He catches, passes. Ruben Wiki does a magnificent job. Look at that for a ball. Nagus juggling it. He looks around going, well, I'll have a go here. I'll do the old chip over and chase. Roosted Lightning flying through the inside there. He trips. Just watch Jackson. He just might give him a push in the back. Then he pushes him in the back to help him score the try.
I wonder if Kenny said thank you.
Well, here we...
David Ferner, 6 from 9 today. 12 in from touch. Trying to add the extra 2, not a bad attempt. He sends it down the middle. So on a day when the Australian cricketers hit back in the first test against the English, they've scored a half century here at Bruce Stadium. 54 points to 6. It is the Canberra Raiders over the Halifax Blue Sox.
Well, there's still plenty of time left on the clock for Nagus to get 5.
I thought you were going to say for Halifax to come back.
Michael Umunga, he scored 5 a couple of seasons ago. Maybe Kenny thinks, well, I might get out there and just match him.
10 tries to 1. Yet another restart by the Canberra Raiders. Halifax 10 out from their own line. And this Canberra defence is relentless today.
It's been the aspect why they are going so well in the last 6 or 7 games they have played.
Martin Moana, former junior Kiwi.
Off him, out of it.
This is Tuolangi. Rally from dummy half. Got the pass away. They continue to keep it alive. This is Moana. Not a bad passage of play from Halifax. Now it is Dean. Dean with the dummy. Got the inside pass away, but Nagus was in there to shut it down.
Defense.
Ball and all tackle from Kenny Nagus. But Halifax kicking for the corner. Lightning. They put it down. Still lying loose on the ground, and they'll play the knock on.
There, Canberra. And then that one, yeah, but he didn't get any advantage, did he? Okay, think about it. Canberra knocked on. I gave him 6 more. They couldn't get the advantage. Scrum.
Well, we'll think about it as we have a look at it here.
This is just great refereeing stuff here. Lightning makes the mistake. The ball goes forward. As the referees did say, Brian Grant, they had no control of it, Halifax. So we'll go back and give them the advantage of a scrum.
Put in there.
Dean puts it in. Inside the red zone. Moana from dummy half. He's only about 4 metres out from the line. Playing for pride here, the Halifax Blue Sox. They go wide early in the tackle count. Pearson over to Tuolangi. Tuolangi for the corner.
Stand up and play. Here, 2. Play 2 there.
Not over. Umunga thought he was. He's appealing to the referee, and now Umunga knocks on from dummy half, but he gets the penalty.
Put in there.
There was a foot in to play the ball.
Let's get it clear. Wait.
Halifax haven't got much to smile about, but the referees certainly put a smile on his face.
Even the player there has kicked the ball out. What he can actually do is walk back 10 or 15 metres. The Canberra players must stay on the line because that's where the penalty was given. There's no need to kick it out.
Dean out to Harrison standing wide. Taken by Burnham underneath. Over the top was Ferner. Charging at the line now. This is Michael Slicker, only 18 years of age, and he's only about a metre out from the line.
2 men. 1, 2
Another
men.
penalty.
No tap until I tell you no.
Will they take the 2, Brent Todd?
I'm getting out of your age.
Right. I think I'm actually going to back Halifax to go over here. I think they're going to score a try.
Okay, it's Dean. Long ball over to David Boubang. He has to cut back in field, but he ran right into Ruben Wiki. Ball with a dummy half. Taken by Burnham underneath. Over the top was Pongia. Now it's Rowley a dummy half again. Out to Dean. Dean calling the runners on the inside, and then they go wide. Pearson can't find a way through. Taken by Jason Croker. That's the 10-metre mark. Still inside the red zone. Tuolangi backing himself. Getting very close to that far corner. 1 metre out. They're a little flat-footed. Now they charge onto the ball. And it is Marshall. Well, it's gone out of their control now, and Nagus has to run it out of the in-goal area. And he has no trouble doing that whatsoever. So they fail to score the try, Halifax. And now it's a Canberra Raider. Ruben Wiki, 12 out from his line.
Just how good is the Canberra defence? You have a look here close to their line. And what about that hit from Ruben Wiki?
What about you back in Halifax to score a try? I'm going to come and collect the money.
Just trying to make them feel good. I mean, I'm sitting about 3 feet away from all the reserves and the coach, and they're not that happy.
Bradley Clyde from dummy half, throws a dummy. Got a great ball on the inside. Chance here again. Oh, that was almost another opportunity for a runaway try, but Royston Lightning overran Prittis in the end. They go to the left, and they've got a big lineup out there. Quentin Pongier out to Furner. Furner trying to keep it alive. He gets it out the back door. It's still lying loose out the back, and Croker has to go back and pick it up. Flirting with that far touchline, but he did the next best thing. He took the tackle. 8 metres inside Halifax territory. Ricky Stewart. Stewart able to get it away to Furner. Furner with the kick over the top. Finds some open spaces, but Dean is going to get back there, or is he? It's been towed through. Umaga can't control it. Still lying loose on the ground.
First Halifax, then Canberra. First Halifax, then Canberra. Stay with me, Big Carl, please. They want the loose head, lad.
30-metre mark as we have another look at it.
Well, there's the mistake by Dean. And now coming up, Umaga makes another mistake here. And Canberra really lucky to get the ball back at all. Umaga, I think, is probably their best player. He's had a lot of work to do at the back there. He's had players running at him all day long.
Outside foot. Roll it there, Rick.
If not the best player, certainly the busiest on defence.
Yeah. It's been like a policeman directing traffic.
Canberra making a couple of changes. DeVico and Hetherington gone on. Dave Furner come off.
Now it's Nagus. Nagus is going to get 5 tries. He's having a field day. Now remember, this day is Kenny Nagus Day in the ACT. 58 points to 6.
Some pretty poor defence there by the Halifax outside backs. Very, very disappointing. They had Nagus pinned up there. Chesterley just gets on the outside of him. That is terrible defence. Only one player there. 2 players in there make the tackle, and then another player comes across a great left-hand fend there. Probably the lock coming across there in cover, but absolutely getting no help from any of his other players. He looks at them, he blows up, says, "Where are you from the base of the scrum? Get over here and help me."
And there's nothing better than being a front row, being a forward, popping your head out of that scrum and looking up and seeing someone like this score a try. He looks as though he's doing it so easy. He looks as though he's got so much time and he's got so much pace, hasn't he? What a class player. 5 tries. That's only something that I could ever dream about.
You dreamt about putting your head out of the scrum and see someone score on a try.
Used to happen all the time when we played you at Balmain. Yeah. You know that.
So Royston Lightning taking over the kicking duties with David Furner having a spell on the interchange bench. Not a bad attempt. Off the uprights and waved away. So the scoreline remains 58 points to 6. We mentioned pre-match that the fullback, Mike Umaga, the fullback for Halifax, set a EuroLeague record scoring 5 tries against Workington last year. Well, Kenny Nagus, I'm sure, setting a World Club Challenge record today with his 5 tries and still 18 minutes remaining in the match. Ricky Stewart, he'll be getting sick of kicking off. And finding touch over on the far side as well. Halifax will get the feed into the scrum.
Big Carl, where is he, son? Your mark, lad. We'll work around you.
10 out from the Halifax line. 20 metres in from touch.
The one on the floor in there. Put in the floor. No wait. No wait. No wait.
11 tries to 1.
Outside foot, son.
Halifax find themselves in possession after the scrum.
Get out of there. Play on.
But at the wrong end of the field. Pearson. Pearson will get up and play it. He's been a prolific point scorer in his career. Martin Pearson, over 1,500 points in his career. Already 110 or 112 now this season. But no opportunities to show his attacking flair today. He's been shut down. And to think that leading into the match, he was probably preparing to face up to Laurie Daly. Probably thought Holly's Christmases came at once with no Daly in front of him. But the replacement, Jason Burnham, has done a fine job in the 5'8" role for Canberra today. Final tackle coming up, and now Halifax looking to find the touchline on the far side with the grubber kick, but it went out on the full.
Yeah, Rowley blowing up there saying that it touched somebody. Problem is, again, their last options, their last tackle just not coming off whatsoever. They either got to take the ball line, chip over, try and regather, do something. Just kick it out, giving them the ball, it's a waste of time.
Burnham finds Kenny Nagus.
No.
Here we go again. Nagus on the fullback, no problem. He's got 6 tries. Oh, Kenny Nagus will be saying, how good is this? How long has it been going on for? They've hit the 60 mark, 62 points to 6. The Australian fullback made them look second-rate.
Every time he touches the ball, he scores tries, and this is just unbelievable stuff here. Burnham just going to the line, giving a short ball. Again, that slide defence. Once you give this guy 1 yard, Michael Umunga, he's too far back. He can't do much about it. A desperate dive there, but hasn't this bloke had an outstanding game?
Yes, Luke DeVico, the big front row. He was the decoy runner there. Actually, 2 front rows, putting Pongia involved. And well, I'm giving a bit of a rap, aren't I? But anyway, just watching come through, and it's been the story of the day for the Canberra Raiders. They've used those decoy runners very well. And well, what can you say about this bloke? When he gets hold of the ball, look at him, he's looking for players. There's players coming in and out. Oh no, I'll do a little bit of a step. Go in for 6 tries. Tremendous game, and well, he's got to be Canberra's player of the match, hasn't he? And
do you think so?
Well, I don't know, you know. It's a tough call, but we'll give it to him.
Okay.
It was converted by Royston Lightning as well, so 64 points to 6, and there's still 15 minutes remaining.
That's a worry for the Halifax side if Nagus does get the ball anymore in this game. Or someone tackle him.
Mate, I'll run out there and tackle him if you want me to.
Doesn't get any easier for Halifax either. Next weekend they come up against another top 5 side in the Australasian Telstra Cup. Talking about Canterbury. And then in the 3rd round they come up against a side called the Brisbane Broncos. Life was not meant to be easy.
That's one thing when I was talking to Mal earlier on about his side. He said the start of the season, those few losses really, the players, he didn't change anything at training. He just kept everything the same. It was the players that had to stand up and be counted. Well, they've certainly done that today. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, they've come on in leaps and bounds. And as I keep saying, imagine putting Laurie Daly and also Brett Mullins out there as well. How strong are the Canberra Raiders? They are real contenders.
Moana on the far side. Halifax kicking. Ken Nagus, and the crowd roars as Nagus, but they don't want him to score from there, do they? Oh, 18 metres out from his own line.
Well done, Juggo. Well
He's only human after all. He can get tackled occasionally. But now they go wide, and this is Royston Lightning. Lightning, has he got the pace to get away? Kicking on the infield. Poor old Mike Umunga, the fullback for Halifax, says, what's going on here? Every time I look around, there's the green machine coming at me. Ruben Wiggy popped the ball up. I don't know how he got the pass away, but it went forward, and they put it down. So from one end of the field to the other, this is exciting rugby league, Canberra Raiders style. The green machine, well, they're firing on 8 cylinders today, no doubt about that. The big V8 is roaring at Bruce Stadium.
Oh, great tackle there by Mike Umunga. Again, the ball just popped back up, and just a little bit unlucky there for Lightning. That would have been another try. But where was Kenny Nagus? He was back on his 22 having a rest. Get up there, Kenny. Get 7.
Hey, what about the bloke that tackles him? He'll be an absolute genius as well. He'll get a round of applause. Someone's got to tackle him.
Tuolangi played it. Back it goes now to Baldwin. Michael Slicker. He made his debut as a 17-year-old in 1995. Well, I hope these young kids in this Halifax team can rebound from this hiding today. It's been a lesson in rugby league for them. Harrison popped it back, picked up by Martin Moana. Moana trying to step his way through and does a good job, the former Auckland Warrior. Played for the Warriors in 95 before moving to Halifax. Kicking again, looking for the touchline, and I guess that's the best option for Halifax. Just trying to slow things down, backing down the scrum. There's still over 12 minutes remaining, and the scoreline 64 points to 6.
I disagree with you, Greg. They had another player on the outside there. I think it was a better option, and if you look at the scoreline, they're better off running the ball. But rather than giving back to Canberra, get a scrum that's 20 metres in, a full back line, 7-on-7, mate. Anything could happen from here.
At least with the scrum, it's going to make the seconds tick away.
Canberra making a change. Bradley Clyde's coming off to a round of applause from the crowd. Great game from Brad.
No, wait. Now, feet.
Stewart puts the ball in and takes it out.
Stand up, no hands, mate. Stand up. 21.
So they're 20 metres out from their own line.
You know, we give Kenny Nagus a lot of raps, but Ricky Stewart has been a real force out there.
Excuse me. Hey, I'm in control here. I don't want anyone else. Ricky, control that man.
Not seeing eye to eye at the moment.
Mr. Rowley. Hey, sir, come on, son, have a chat. How many did you get in first, do you think? Only one? You got both? You missed with both. They're all fair enough. It's silly anyway. But listen, mate, it's going to be 3 weeks here. The game's going to be played properly. We're not going to have any of that sort of nonsense. I'll have a chat to the other lad about coming back too. But you had 2 hits, both of them missed. I don't want you to have any hits. Is that fair enough? Thanks, man. Now, 9? Yeah, okay. Mate, yeah, he said he missed both, but he certainly got 2. All right, but mate, when the whistle blows, you just put yourself right at the edge of the cliff if you want to come back. Not worth it, eh, son? No better.
Oh, well, I think that's pretty clear cut. Rowley says he had 2 swings and didn't connect. 1.
Thanks, Cole. Check, lads. Cole will help you. Cole will help you there.
Back to the football. 16 metres inside the Halifax territory, and Hetherington straight ahead.
Lachlan Jackson just come over the top there on a bit of a high tackle.
Yes, they want to be a little bit careful, the Halifax boys. Can't afford to have someone sent off.
Todd Payton is on there from the reserves bench. Now it's Pongia, the inside pass back to Devico, and Devico is about 15 out from the line. Looking for more. 64 points to 6 at the moment, the Raiders. They haven't finished yet. Switch your play. Stewart, he's had all the time in the world to do stuff today, and that's a better tackle on Croker, but they didn't hold him. He got up and had another crack at them, and he's still 15 metres out from the line. Devico takes him on. Straight up the middle goes the front row. He's having such a fine season, Luke Devico. Wolford waits for it at dummy half. Stewart kicking for the corner. And they're charging at the line. Who did it come off?
Has he forced it or not?
Croker got the ball down. They want to have a look at it on the video replay.
What are you looking for? Whether he's forced it. It's gone backwards.
Jason Croker looks a little more confident about this one.
Secondly, did he force it?
Well, looks to be off one of the Halifax players. Definitely forced it, but was that the second occasion?
Okay, so who's knocked it off?
Let's have another look at it here.
What you'll find it's come off the back of one of the Canberra players. I think it's in Boyle.
Who's the first one again?
I'm sorry, it's Luke Prittis going up high. And you'll watch the ball come down now. He jumps up, goes over the top of Tuolangi, and comes off the back of his body. I think what you'll find then is Croker's right there saying thank you very much, and that's a try.
Well, did he knock it on though? He presses it there earlier on. It may have been a knock on.
Right.
The decision is on its way. No try. Little knock on there by Jason Croker before he placed the ball firmly. So Jason Croker, he scored 1 try and he's had 2 disallowed thanks to the video replay. So the scoreline remains 64 to 6 inside the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, some of the Halifax players saying they're offside and they were dead right. The referee now the ruck area. Canberra side just getting in front of everybody.
And into the touch, Baldwin. It just hasn't been their day, has it, Halifax? Early in the tackle count, floated with the touchline. He was an easy target. They threw him over the chalk, so the scrum will pack down.
Payton doing a great job once again with Ruben Wicking. You got those 2 big men there, and they'll get rid of you very quickly. He tries to get the ball back in. Just no chance whatsoever. But again, Halifax really had no one there to take the ball forward, and that's what Canberra has done so well today. Their forwards have really gone forward and made it easy for their backs.
Kick and chase now by the Raiders, turning them around. Bouvang been asked to go back, and wow, Royston Lightning won the race, but the ball beat him over the touch-in goal line, and it's going to be a restart back on the 20. That was almost another try to the Canberra Raiders.
Well, when you're this far in front, you can try those little chips over from the bases scrum. A good little kick there by Ricky Stewart. I mean, he really has answered his critics today. I think he's probably one of Canberra's best in organising and distributing that ball out wide to his backs.
Yeah, he certainly is. You can hear him from down on the sideline. He's doing all the organising out here. And whoever said that he should be cut should probably go to the dressing shed and give himself 30 uppercuts, because he's been one of the best players out here on the ground, and he is a tremendous little player.
And this is Tuolunga. He got it out the back door. Now, Luke Prittis is back on the field after spending some time in the blood bin, and Brett Todd, Luke Prittis, a hooker who played for New South Wales in the Tri-Series this year, is standing over on the left wing. So from the front row to the left wing, do you think Mel Meninga would have asked you to do that in your Canberra days?
There's no way I was out in the wing, mate. I was always in the middle there. I didn't have the pace to be a winger.
Well, Mr. Versatile today, Luke Prittis. And intercept! Jason Croker. This time they'll give him a fair try. Nobody around him, racing for the line, puts it down under the black dot. The intercept leading to the try to Jason Croker. So 68 points to 6 with the kick to come from right in front. They're going to make the 70 mark.
Well, Jason Croker just put himself in a position where the ball was just passed straight to him. A little bit disappointed for the Halifax side here. Go across and throw a big long ball. Chris Chester was the man. He just put himself in a great spot there. He just takes his time, says, well, I'm not going to drop this. I'm going to score a try. And he was lucky. He could have had 4 today.
Yes, well read by Jason Croker. They move up very quickly, the Canberra back line there. He saw it coming, and really, when things are going bad, they really go bad here. And, well, Halifax have had an off day. Jason Croker, well, just strolls over for an easy one.
If the ball had been connected to the outside backs there, Toddy, they would have had a chance of maybe scoring down the other end of the field. Luke Prittis was the only man back there in defence. He was playing on the wing, but he's about 15 yards behind everybody.
Yeah, well, at this stage of the game, you must take chances, eh?
Soul searching going on there, and there's a very happy Luke DeVico. The front rower said, give me a shot at goal from right in front. Royston Lightning actually went up to say, you've got to be kidding. And Luke said, no, I'll have a crack at this from right in front. So he's on the score sheet as well, the front rower. He can kick a goal. It's an extra 2, and it's 70 points to 6.
Well, that's what you see at training, the big front rowers having kicks a goal. They never really do that well, but did a pretty good job to get that one over the goalpost.
Umaga, fingertip control, taking that restart. And this is Slicker. Michael Slicker. Let's hope that Halifax are a little slicker in their next match against Canterbury. Got that for you on Fox Sports next Sunday from Belmore. After that, they head north to take on the Brisbane Broncos.
That's it. 3. Play 3, Carl. Pick it up. 3.
Rally at dummy half. This is Paul Highton, one of the Great Britain junior representative last year. Moana runs straight at Croker and also Prittis.
Well, he's tried hard, hasn't he, Moana? He's trying to get these forwards going and that, but honestly, they're just lacking a little bit of that organisation, I think, in control of the ball.
The crowd will be hoping this doesn't go over the dead ball line, so Nagus can have a run. He's got a bit of work to do. The chasers arrive, and Nagus is about 8 metres out from his own line.
He was
Penalty.
on the ground. He was on the ground, and then you took it. As he's going down, it's okay, but not when he's on the ground. I want your men on side, Rick, before you take the kick.
See Martin Moana coming over the top there, holds him down. Nagus trying to get up and play the ball quickly. Martin Moana just holding on too long and stealing the ball at the last second.
So Stewart finds touch on the far side. Shot at Mel Meninga as he's the Raiders still have just under 4 minutes to play with, but they've lost the football. So 1 try in the first half to Halifax, scoreless in the second half. Can they pull something back here and cross the Raiders line as the minutes tick away?
Oh, what about that hit from Hetherington? on Slicker.
Dean gets it out now to Heighton. Heighton, no way through there.
What's this? Oh, see you later.
Pearson on the far side. One underneath, one over the top. Great defence by the Canberra Raiders. Moana. Dean off the legs of DeVico, so it's play on. The front row, he takes them on. Luke DeVico, he's got Tuolangi to beat. Throws it on the inside, it came off Tuolangi into touch, so the Raiders will get the feed into the scrum. But Melbourne Digger absolutely delighted with his flying front rower, Luke DeVico.
What about the guy who was backing him up? Todd Payton, their front row, the young guy. He's only around about 18, 19 years of age. And he was flying up there. I'm going to score the try. Watch the big fella in cover. This is a great burst. Go, son, go. Big Mel's on the sideline. Gets away from one. Just lucky the ball gets tapped there. Oh, unlucky. That was a great run.
Taking his time getting into the front row, DeVico.
He's had a big run, hasn't he, Greg?
Get on, put in.
70 points to 6. Can they add to the scoreline? In a great position, the Raiders, and Ruben Wiki standing, just waiting to offload. Eventually he'll play it. 22 metres out. Inside pass, Hetherington. He's coughed it up and Halifax come away with it. Asa Ramoni, a Tongan World Cup player in 1995. Paul Heighton, bounced out of one, taken by Stewart. Payton came at him again for the second time. Ruben Wiki, crunching defence on Michael Slicker.
Hasn't his defence been outstanding? Probably in the Leary game. Big Carl Harrison goes for a big run up the middle, but no one backing him up. Probably too tired of making too many tackles.
Moana trying to step his way through. Heighton. David Wesley, the tackler, to the short side. Final tackle coming up and they kick it into touch.
Well, they had 4 players there to pass the ball to. You can hear them run it. And that's what they've got to do. Kicking it out only gives them another option of scoring another try. You can see the tackles there. Unbelievable. Not using their vision at all, the young guys on this side. And the Halifax, that is.
Rick. 2 hands and feed it. Feed it, son. Now, come on, Rick. Feed it, son. Come now.
Interesting to know that Canberra have made 189 tackles to Halifax 145.
And Gary, a good reason for that is the fact that Halifax have just been going one out and 2 or 3 Canberra Raiders are in there making the tackle, so they're all credited with the tackle.
Well, that's why they've gone so well today, is their defence. I know their attack has been outstanding, but if you defend well, you will keep a side scoreless.
Mike Umanga, 30 metre mark. Inside the final minute of this match. Tuolangi, Moana, he throws the dummy, eventually gets it over now to Pearson, but Prentice is there, Croker's there as well. They're counting down the seconds. All over here at the Bruce Stadium. Ricky Stewart with the wink and the nod. The fans waving the flags, and the Canberra Raiders were running hot today. At half-time, it was 38 points to 6. 7 tries to 1 in the second half. Canberra scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tries to none.
I want to ask you just quickly, how come the London Broncos can have more Aussies in it than, say, the likes of these teams up north?
Well, the same thing goes for the
convincing performance last week, but the Broncos have already shown against Brisbane last week that they're a lot better side than Halifax.
Yeah, we're not going to be fooled by anything. I think the London Broncos will be a lot better side than Halifax. You know, we ran pretty hot that day against Halifax, but you know, today's a different day. The ground's a lot heavier, so we're expecting a very tough encounter.
Well, what was the talk about during the week? I mean, how do you come down from a game like that and try and build yourself up for another one?
Well, basically we're looking at our own performance, you know, to get better. As blokes are coming back from injury, to get the side together. So we've really been concentrating on our own performance, and which we will do today.
You've obviously had a look at London. Tony Mestrov and a few of the other forwards there. They're a little bit tougher, you'd expect.
Oh, definitely, and they've played you know, this type of football, a lot of times, you know, you got Madison and Gill, very experienced players. Josh White, the halfback, so we know how they can play. So we've seen it against Brisbane. They surprised Brisbane too. So we know we're in for a tough game, and we're going to treat it like that.
So no complacency at all?
Not that I've seen anyway. Definitely shouldn't be, because if there is, you know, we don't want to be embarrassed by getting beaten by, you know, London Broncos at our home ground.
Good luck. Who passed away yesterday, and a great loss to everybody in Canberra and everybody connected with the Canberra Raiders. Freezing at the moment. Matthew McEwen, Matt, good afternoon.
John McCoy, there isn't enough F's in freezing. The wind is coming straight off the snowy mountains from the southeast, and it is bitterly cold down here now. One thing firing up, though, was Tony Curry. He was complaining about the Australian referees and their interpretation of play the balls. He thinks that is a major detriment to his side and all the English sides. He's called on that for that to be fixed up. Otherwise, he's pretty confident after last week's performance they can bring off an upset. The Raiders' complacency is their worst enemy.
So it's the London Broncos who have the first use of the ball, and immediately they elect to take it wide, and Tulson Tullett runs into a tough tackle. He was put to ground by Ruben Wicking.
It's one thing you can't do against the Canberra Raiders. Try and go around them too early. Here goes Ruben Wicking once again. Tulson Tullett, I think he'll be running down the outside of him anymore in the rest of the game.
So London 20 metres on their own side of halfway. Beasley into dummy half. This is Russell Borden, formerly a Brisbane Bronco. Borden put to ground. Last is coming up. Back it goes to Josh White. Gets his kick away as it was contested by his opposition halfback Andrew McFadden, and particularly for our British viewers, McFadden coming into the side for Canberra today as a late change for Ricky Stewart, who's out with a virus, but that kick going too deep over the dead ball line, and so the Canberra Raiders get their first touch of the football with a tap restart from the 20-metre mark, and Luke DeVico almost busted through. He was caught just at the last moment and dragged to ground by the London defence.
Yeah, one thing you know, McFadden going into the dummy half hole there and chasing out at 100 mile an hour to get to Josh White. I think Mel Meningas had a planned move there. We can get to this guy before he can kick the ball.
Laurie Daly able to give his pass away to David Furner, and Canberra are 8 metres on their own side of halfway, and Daly again shows it onto the blind side to Luke DeVico, crosses the halfway mark before he's put to ground on tackle number 5, and once more they work down the short blind, getting the kick away, but it's taken by the fullback Andrew Duncan for the London Broncos, and Duncan is 25 metres out from his own line. Martin Afire with a scamper just to the blind side, taken immediately though by Laurie Daly, who was awake to that ploy by Martin Afire, and again London through Josh White, able to spread the ball wide early in the tackle count. So London just working to 8 metres on their own side of halfway. Getting now to the halfway mark.
Yeah, London trying to go wide once again on that right-hand side for them. I think they've got to go do this more often, John, is go forward in the early parts of this game, get some good yardage. You see McFadden go in the dummy up. They've got 3 markers here. Canberra should be penalised for that.
Josh White getting his kick away, not the best of kicks. It's going to find touch. It'll go into touch just 21 metres out from the Canberra line. Not the best of kicks by Josh White, but it's probably had the desired result. He's found touch. Just let his side regroup in defence as Canberra will feed this scrum.
Josh White once again getting that kick in, but it's been rushed because McFadden is coming out of the line, going to that second marker and getting up there at 100 mile an hour and putting pressure on him.
Hold that line, fellas.
Andrew McFadden working the scrum for Canberra, and immediately up the blind side goes Bradley Clyde. But it was well read by the London defence. He was dragged to ground immediately in the tackle of Andrew Hamilton, who came out of that scrum quickly. Peter Gill going in to make the next tackle, and the first penalty of the game.
No way, you're going early.
Penalty against the London Broncos, going early rule, referee Tim Mander, and a quick tap taken by Canberra, backing their attacking skill. Jason Croker getting down the wing and almost getting away. Eventually Tulson Tullett coming across in cover defence makes the tackle. David Furner once more going to the short side. Again it was left to Tullett to go underneath to make the tackle with Hamilton. McFadden switching it, looking for the runners coming up the middle of the ruck. Brett Hetherington to play the ball.
Tell you what, the London Broncos were all offside there as they go wide. Canberra
through Kennedy. Kennedy able to get it away to Nagus, turned inside to Royston Lightning. Lightning will go in and score. There's about 5 Canberra Raiders players in support of Royston Lightning. Not one defender anywhere going to be seen from London. How easy is that? Royston Lightning scores underneath the post, and it's 4 points to 0 in favour of the Canberra Raiders.
Well, see, London's got a great work there, but they come up in a good line. But again, Kenny just play on the outside, picks up Nagus. There's only really the fullback there to beat. Unbelievable. I thought Kennedy was going to go in, and I can't believe it. Johnny McCoy, and he knows what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. But Royston Lightning going underneath the sticks there. We're only one pass off.
Laurie Daly working away to the blind side, sending his pass on to Ben Kennedy. Kennedy drawing Martin Afire. Lovely pass. He knew that Ken Nagus was there. Nagus also knew that Royston Lightning was coming back on the inside. No one in front of Royston Lightning. Daylight only to be seen. Underneath the post he goes. Converted by David Furner. And it's 6 points to 0 in favour of the Canberra Raiders, and ominous signs for the London Broncos early on.
Up to then, I thought the London Broncos defence was going extremely well. But again, it comes down to lack of communication. They play a little bit of an up and in defence, whereas Canberra play that slide, and they did get caught out because they didn't go up fast enough. Martin Afire got caught with 3 players to attend to.
So the restart to be taken by Canberra. Well, we did see London last week, of course. They got behind early on against the Brisbane Broncos, but were able to come back and, in fact, led at half-time. Can they do the same again today? Terry Madison. Madison has a big ask today. The first time he's played at 5'8". This is because of the injury to Sean Edwards. A reshuffle has seen Terry Madison go out into the 5'8 spot. And a baptism of fire for Terry Madison. It's a hard enough task when you've never played there before, particularly when your opposition is the best in the world, Laurie Daly.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to ask for Terry, like you said, first time in his career. One thing I noticed with the London Broncos side, they'll go one forward, then go and try and go wide. They get caught on the sideline and really needs their players nowhere to go.
Josh White standing deep, getting the kick away, putting it over the head of Jason Croker. Croker thought about trying to take that ball, then realised that perhaps discretion was the better part of valour. Let the ball go over his head and bounce into touch.
Here goes McFadden. McFadden is flying out the line, trying to put pressure on White. It looks like he's that little bit of extra pressure. I think there's going to be a couple of mistakes from White, getting that sort of pressure from the other halfback, and McFadden. They'll hopefully try and get the ball back in their own half.
Once again on his own 20, Andrew McFadden works the scrum. Jason Croker with that arm heavily bandaged. Jason Croker, who's only just a fortnight ago made his return to the Canberra Raiders side. He was injured pre-season for the Raiders, had a broken arm, and he's been sorely missed by Canberra. He's such a brilliant utility player, Jason Croker. This is Ben Kennedy, a youngster of enormous potential. Started his career in rugby union before switching over to the Canberra Raiders rugby league side. McFadden giving his pass away to David Furner. Furner taken in the tackle of Andrew Hamilton. Andrew Hamilton, particularly for our English viewers in London who may have watched the London Broncos playing at home and thought, Andrew Hamilton, where has he come from? Well, he's only been signed for London while they've been here in Australia. He played for the South Queensland Crushers earlier on this season in a couple of games here in their Australian Premiership, but signed by the London Broncos. So his first run-on appearance today for the club.
First thing you know, first notice with Mel, with the change of glasses, he's gone away from those big yellow ones. Gone for the Oakleys. It's nice, a bit of different colour there for Mel.
Big push by Canberra. Can they win it against the feed? They can't. Peter Gill eventually comes up with it. Good tactic, though, employed by Canberra. Sometimes it is a good ploy. You can catch a defence napping, particularly when you're down well inside the opposition territory, to put on a big push, and that almost paid dividends. But London coming up with possession. They're 15 inside their own half.
Yeah, that big scrum push, no one really does it in the modern game of rugby league anymore, John. They're just content just to get the ball in and get it out. If you don't push in the scrum, oh, good.
Russell Borden was running hard, fell into the tackle of Brett Hetherington as Josh White on the last gets the kick away. Again, it goes just in behind Jason Croker. Smile from Jason Croker. So that's twice in the last 2 minutes he's done that to me.
Will he leave me alone? Can you kick the other side? I think that they know that Jason Croker hasn't got the pace of Royston Lightning, and it's a good move by the London Broncos to kick it down there on that right-hand side of the field, their right-hand side, and keep them under pressure.
Josh White, the halfback for the London Broncos. Once again, a scrum feed to Canberra. So since Canberra scored that try, it's been like a little bit like a chess game.
Yeah, I think the London Broncos were a little bit unlucky with that try. They just didn't number up properly. But again, their go forward's pretty good. But again, Canberra, this is the big thing they work the game on. Another penalty there.
You've got to come back. You've got to make the effort. You're not even making the effort. You're just standing in front.
Yeah, and I think that sums it up. They were well in front of referee Tim Mander. So the second penalty goes to Canberra. And Bradley Clyde has the kick and finds touch right on halfway.
Bradley Clyde kicking the line. Well.
A new string to Bradley Clyde's bow. Laurie Daly to David Furner. Furner had Nagus on the outside of him. Said, you've scored enough tries, I'll have a run myself. This is Ben Kennedy. Kennedy down the short side and busting through Ben Kennedy. Can he get his pass away? He can't. Josh White holds on to him. Now back in field through Luke Prittis. This is Luke DeVico.
Well, Canberra go wide now. They've got the London Broncos. There's only about 3 or 4 players out there to defend.
They've got men over if they want to, but Luke Prittis elects to take another run himself, 12 metres out right in centre field. Brett Mullins goes in to be the dummy half for Canberra. From Mullins, McFadden, then Daly. Daly getting his pass away. They're only, let's see, 10 metres out from the line. Last tackle is coming up for Canberra. Ball played, spun back in field once more to Laurie Daly. He'll use the kick, putting it deep across towards Lightning's wing. Brett Mullins going forward as well. It came off Mullins. Knocked on by Brett Mullins.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there, the Canberra side. Good kick there by Laurie Daly. Right across the face of the London Broncos side. But Brett Mullins just coming up with a mistake here. He just even gets his hand to it, trying to knock it back for Lightning. Otherwise, there was no one else home for the London Broncos at all.
So London working it out from 15 metres inside their own half. Scott Roskell, who scored 2 tries last week against the Brisbane Broncos with that settling run, and this is Terry Madison. Madison able to give his pass on to Tulson Tollett. Madison going into dummy half, just directing play. Matt Dunford bringing it down the centre of the ruck. Luke Prittis, the tackler. Last coming up again. Once more, they'll drive Jason Croker mad doing that to him all day. Another kick that finds touch in behind Jason Croker from Josh White.
Well, I don't know if they've actually picked this as a weak link or anything, but I think it's just the other thing is that Lightning, as I said, has got more pace than Croker there on the other wing. And I think he'll be sick and tired of seeing the ball kicked to him, because all he has to do now is run the ball up off the scrum.
So Canberra leading London by 6 points to 0 here at Bruce Stadium.
Just one thing with those kicks, I think Josh White could probably go the line a little bit more and put the ball in the air, give the side some sort of opportunity of getting the ball back other than just giving Canberra the scrum.
Let's go, get away, get away.
Jason Croker tackled by Russell Borden. Laurie Daly. Daly getting it away to Ruben Wiki. Wiki standing in the tackle. Terry Madison clinging onto him though, and he's eventually called on to play the ball. Well, Hetherington.
Well, if the London Broncos don't get back on side again, they will be seeing someone in the bin, that's for sure.
Loose pass. Going back for it will be Brett Mullins. In fact, it's Luke Prittis who eventually dives on it. Now to Luke DeVico. DeVico pushed back a couple of metres. They're 12 inside their own half, Canberra.
No, Luke. Mate, get out. Tony, last tackle, mate. Holding him down. Silly penalty. Silly penalty.
Well, they are the coach killers, and Tony Curry, the coach of the London Broncos, would be furious with that. You're on the last tackle. Even Tim Mander said, silly penalty. Giving one away on the last.
I'll tell you what, Luke DeVico is a little bit lucky there. Coming over there with a little bit of an elbow. I think it was really meant by it.
And well, here is a let-off for London.
Big Bradley Clyde coming up with a knock on there.
Ball spilt by Bradley Clyde on the first tackle. So what can London do? Tulson Tollett again runs into another tough tackle from Ruben Wiki, first of all, finished off by Bradley Clyde. That's twice Tulson Tollett has had the ball, and twice he's run into the clutches, first up of Ruben Wiki.
Well, one thing I would be doing is passing the ball if I saw Ruben coming towards me. It's a good run by
Josh White. White getting through, able to turn his pass back on the inside to Robbie Beasley backing up. Beasley is 30 metres out from the line. Now away to Madison. Madison's got Gill on the outside. Can't get the pass to him though. Good tackle low by McFadden. Gill onto the blind side. Gives his pass away. Roskell coming back in field. Once again, McFadden going in to make the tackle. They keep it alive though to Russell Borden. He doesn't quite know what to do with it. London just at 6s and 7s at the moment, and they're on tackle number 5. Played to Beasley. Beasley gives it away to Dunford. Dunford to Duncan, then away to Krause, and on to Martin of Fire for the corner. Chariots of Fire gets the ball down. He thinks he scored the try. Does the referee agree? Doesn't even go to the video referee. He knows it was a fair try, and a good try by Martin of Fire, who was one of the best finishers in the game.
Well, they played that superbly there, the London Broncos. Played the unders play. Good to see them run on the last half. As you can see, no Canberra defence there whatsoever. Mullins had to make up his mind whether he stays or goes. He started to stay. And Chariots just too quick over that first 5 metres there to go in the corner. On the head-on view, you'll see Mullins goes to go. No, I'll stay. Royston Lightning's back deep. And again, short pass. Too much pace for both of them. That is a very, very good try to the London Broncos. Good way to strike back.
Excellent try by Martin of Fire. Just for the London Broncos. And a difficult kick first up for Terry Madison. One of the old-style kickers, Terry Madison, just lays through their premiership years. I've put the mocker on him.
You certainly did, John.
No goal by Terry Madison, so the Canberra Raiders lead the London Broncos by 6 points to 4 here at Bruce Stadium. As Terry Madison makes his way back for the restart. But that will be a confidence booster for Canberra, for London rather, knowing that this is what they did last week. They got behind to the Brisbane Broncos and were able to come back.
I think the big thing is what Benny McKeown said before the game is the Canberra side really relaxing too early when the game had only just kicked off after scoring their first points on the board.
Brett Hetherington running it back from his own in goal after the restart. Ruben Wick trying to bust through the tackle of Borden.
No, over the top, mate. The tackle's been made. You've come over the top and holding him down.
So very similar to last week's start, where I think the penalties at half-time last week in that match between Brisbane and London favoured London by about 7 or 8 to 1, and it's the same today. The penalties just flowing one way at the moment in favour of the Raiders.
Yeah, just one thing with Josh White coming over the top there as Canberra take the ball forward by Croker is that he went to hold the ball, trying to slow down the play, and the referees just won't tolerate that.
David Furner just inside London territory. Push back in the tackle of Hamilton. Luke Prentice runs from dummy half. Chased out of marker by Hamilton going in low. So you look at that stat and you see just how much possession Canberra have had. So once more, we see the Raiders through Bradley Clyde making a half bust. This is Laurie Daly. Daly shoots it wide to Kennedy. Has 3 goes to get hold of it and can't. It'll be dived on by Russell Borden. Referee Tim Mander plays advantage. Fullback Andrew Duncan has a scamper away from dummy half. Kennedy, who had made the mistake in losing that ball. Not that you could really blame Ben Kennedy. It was not the best of passes up above his head. Probably did well to control it for 2 or 3 attempts before eventually it hit the deck.
Well, Canberra certainly are hitting this right-hand side, the London's right-hand side. They're just trying to catch Martin of Fire out. He does drop back a little bit early in the play, and they still had Mullins and Royston Lightning over there if Ben Kennedy had caught that ball.
Matt Dunford taking a short pass of Josh White. He's probably sorry he did. Ran into a tough tackle from Kennedy and DeVico. That's the halfway line that you can see in screen as Terry Madison on the last uses the kick.
No, look at it, standing that way, not forward.
Well, Jason Croker is a little bit like he's had about 5 kicks put to him, and this one went straight at him at 100 mile an hour. So I thought the ball went come off his chest, not his arms.
I think Jason's just said to the blokes on the London side, give me a break, will you? There's a couple of other fellas on the field you can give some kicking practice too.
Hold it there.
But Josh White gets to feed this scrum.
Oh. Well, Josh White.
No way. Ball twisted, came straight out.
Josh White just running away from the scrum here.
Just wait.
Dave Furner coming from the second row to dive on the ball. They better make sure they get their calls right here.
So London this time with a clean scrum. Terry Madison playing at 5'8", looking to cut his way back in field. McFadden is there to stop him with David Furner. Tulson Tollett, no one coming off him, and he had to run himself, which he didn't intend to. And Tollett will get to his feet and say, well, where were the receivers? Tony Mestrov, just inside the red zone of Canberra. Ball played through Beasley and then away to White, and on it comes to Madison, and this is Borden. Borden held on to some solid defence from Daly over the top, and underneath was Furner. Now once more to Josh White, takes it to the line, then gives the pass away to Peter Gill. Well read by the Canberra defence though. This is the last on its way for London. Back to Josh White, uses the little grubber kick, was able to get the ball back and is held on to. So it'll be the changeover, and Canberra with the ball only 2 metres out from their own line and lost by Ben Kennedy. So here's a great chance, dived on immediately by Jason Croker, but London will feed a very important scrum just 10 metres out from the line.
Well, this is where Canberra really have got to put themselves together and really start concentrating on carrying the ball forward. One thing they're not, Ben Kennedy, everyone lucky, lost the ball before the tackle was even finished. A good cover there. I think they've got to put on a move here, the London Broncos, and get them on the right-hand side. Here they go.
Going to work to the short side through Peter Gill. They've got men over, away to Josh White, and then on to Scott Roskill. Oh, gee, they caught the Canberra defence at 6s and 7s. They just didn't number off the Canberra Raiders. There was a yawning gap on the blind side. It was brilliantly read by Peter Gill at the scrum base, and Scott Roskill goes in to score try number 2 for the London Broncos, and the London boys are in front.
Yeah, that is a great move. What actually happens there, the 2 foot, you watch Bradley Clyde goes out to the right. That really only leaves the halfback and the winger. And if you drop the lock off from behind the scrum, it's a 3-on-2 situation straight away. And Josh White, I thought, did a magnificent job there and drawing the winger and then offloading to his wing to go over in the corner. Roskill scored 2 tries against Brisbane last week, and that is a good try to get them back in front here tonight.
Scott Roskill, who's certainly enjoying the stint with the London Broncos here. Here's the kick on its way from Terry Madison. Hits the upright. Bad luck for Terry Madison, no goal. At first I thought he was going to lay that ball up, but at the last moment he did just put it down as his normal kicking style.
I thought he'd stood the ball up, but what are we seeing here? Once again, you see Gill dropping up the scrum. Josh White does a tremendous job, really. Croker, he had no chance of taking anyone in that situation. It was a 2-on-1, and he really just had to take somebody, but he couldn't take anyone at all.
Well, I think while you say what a good try it was to London, and they did everything right, you have to be critical of Canberra's defence there. You could see that there was a very, very big blind side that was just waiting to be exploited, and they just didn't number off.
Well, Bradley Clyde said he came out to the right-hand side of the field, which left that big gap.
Andrew McFadden making a half break, runs into his opposite number, Josh White, bounced away from White. Tollett was able to get him, then away to Jason Croker. Croker is caught by Hamilton and Roskill and put over. So Canberra may have been stung after those 2 quick tries. They're saying to themselves, we perhaps have taken things a little easy after the first try that we scored. Now it's time that we started to play football. Laurie Daly, the captain, away to Ken Nagus. Nagus dragged to ground by Borden. Quick play the ball. Kennedy through Furner on the short side. Furner runs it to the line and is taken by David Krause. They're 15 metres out from scoring. Through Mullins, then away to McFadden. His pass goes on to Laurie Daly. Daly runs it to the line, tries to give a short pass and a penalty. London offside.
No, Terry, come here, please, mate. Laurie, no, we're just going to hold it. We're going to hold it. We're going to hold it. Terry. Mate, they are standing constantly offside, not making the effort to come back. If I've got to keep penalty, mate, I'm going to start setting them. Okay, it's not an idle threat. Okay, let's get back, make the effort.
Well, that's almost exactly the words that Bill Harrigan used last Friday night. They are constantly offside. If it happens again, I'm going to have to send somebody. Almost precisely what Bill Harrigan said, and London have to take note. This penalty count so heavily against them. And you can't keep giving Canberra tackles as they are now. Luke DeVico tackled only 5 metres out from the line. From Pritis, this is McFadden. McFadden trying to sneak his way through the little fellow. He's almost over. 1 metre out, he was held on to in a desperation tackle. He was pulled to ground by Dunford. Now to Laurie Daly. Daly looking to get his pass away and does so to Bradley Clyde. Wrapped up ball and all by Tollett. Now away to Daly. Daly gives a short pass on to Furner. Furner gives it back to McFadden. Basketballs it away to Hetherington. It was knocked down by Martin of Fire. It was touched by London, picked up now by Laurie Daly. The tackle count restarts. This is Brad Clyde, 11 metres out from the London line.
Talk about players going to the bin. Again, the London Broncos will not get back with the referee. He is going to send someone shortly.
Ruben Wiki playing the ball. DeVico goes to the short side. Dummies back onto the inside and tries to spin through the tackle. Held on to 9 metres up. McFadden. Then away to Hetherington. On to Furner, who's dropped at David Furner. Picked up by Martin. Afire play on. Playing the advantage. Afire trying to bust away. Got away from a couple. Now is taken by Ken Nagus in a smothering tackle.
Yeah, mistakes again, really wearing down the Canberra side. They're making just too many. They're giving the ball back to the London Broncos, and they just got to go forward now. Get a good kick in and put the Canberra side under some pressure in their own 25.
So London surprising leaders over Canberra by 8 points to 6. They've scored 2 tries to 1, even though the penalty count is so heavily against them.
I think what you notice is that the error count, 6 to Canberra, 1 to London. They are really controlling this ball. And that's the big thing about beating Canberra on their own home soil. Got to control the ruck area.
So London getting to the halfway mark. And the last tackle is coming up now for the Broncos. Beasley, a dummy half, gives it away to first receiver Josh White. Kicks out towards Jason Croker's wing. And it will go into touch once more. Instant replay,
I
number 8.
don't know if that must be his best side for kicking, because they have not tried to kick the other side whatsoever. And all I can say, once again, is that the other guy on the other side is a lot quicker than Jason Croker. But again, I think Josh White should go the line a little bit more, put the ball in the air, give his side an opportunity of maybe getting the ball back, because the Canberra side, they can hurt you from these 20-metre scrums inside their own half.
Well, Andrew McFadden is certainly getting plenty of practice today at feeding scrums inside his own quarterway.
Right there, mate. On that line's good.
Kicks in play. Canberra have kicked 3 times. London have kicked 7. Almost all, I would think, from Josh White, and almost all towards Jason Croker. So the scrum fed and won by Canberra.
Our first sign of movement on the interchange bench. Quinton Ponga going to the sideline for Canberra, and another change going to be made by the Raiders too.
Thanks, Matt McEwen. Terrific interchange bench that they have, Canberra. Just outside their own 20. Brett Hetherington to play this ball.
See young McFadden has come to the bench.
Prentice makes a break, comes towards the fullback, sends his pass back on the inside to Brett Mullins. Mullins being chased by Martin Afire. Afire ankle taps in, can't put him to ground. And the brilliance of Brett Mullins goes in to score right underneath the post. Is there a better sight in rugby league than Brett Mullins in full flight? If there is, then I don't know it. Perhaps Martin Afire or Wendell Saylor from Brisbane could be equal to him. But a terrific break here originally by Luke Prentice. And then Brett Mullins puts the head back and heads for the try line, and Mullins in to score a great Canberra try.
Yeah, it's great to see, but Luke Prentice here does a magnificent job. The London Broncos really out of the dummy half area were terrible, but he just comes up and like you said, isn't he sensational? I thought O'Fire was going to get him. He just dived, I thought, about a yard too early. And Mullins puts the ball down to one hand. Balmaning will be happy. They scored that one underneath the post. Brett Mullins, look at him. It didn't even raise a sweat.
Brett Mullins, who was out of the Canberra side last week in that big win over Halifax. As David Furner converts, and so Canberra are back in front with 2 converted tries. Canberra 12, lead London 8. Yes, Brett Mullins, when you think that last week Canberra ran up 70 points and missing from the Canberra side were Laurie Daly and this man, Brett Mullins.
He's a terrific backer-upper, isn't he? In that centre position, he's just so much closer to the ruck here, and if someone does make a break, they can back up so quickly.
Tell you what, Gary Freeman, for any of our youngsters watching that game, you can learn a lot from watching Brett Mullins, but one thing you shouldn't learn is how he put that ball down. He could have easily lost control of that ball over the try line, the one-handed put down. I don't think you'd be teaching your youngsters to do those sort of things, would you, Gary Freeman?
I don't think I'd like them to do it, but if they scored it like he did, I wouldn't be too worried. But the big thing is McFadden's come from the side for the Canberra side too.
London made their first change too. Adrian Spencer's gone on. Andrew Hamilton's come off.
80 Spencer is wearing number 15. He's an interesting player, 80 Spencer. Interesting in as much as he's a chemical engineer, and when he was at university, at famous Cambridge University in England, he was playing rugby union for Cambridge, but also was playing for the London Crusaders, as they were called, before they became the London Broncos. And when the rugby union boys found he was also playing rugby league, they banned him for 12 months. But during the ban came the professionalism to rugby union, so the ban was wiped. But these days he concentrates on playing professional football for the London Broncos.
And there's the bloke that's been missing from the Canberra side in the last couple of weeks, making his return, Quinton Pongia.
I called you 3 times then, you just totally ignored me.
Well, that'll be a relief for London to get a penalty off Tim Mander. With just under 10 minutes remaining until the break, that's the first penalty that London have got. And Josh White will kick for touch.
Tony Curry will be a little bit happier. It took them 8 penalties for Brisbane last week before they got one, so they're too quick at this time.
I think most of their penalties really have been coming from the offside position too.
White giving his pass away to Madison. Madison then away to Tony Mestrov. Mestrov 32 metres out from the Canberra line. Run across onto the short side. Dunford taking it up inside the red zone. Tackle by Ken Nagus. Could play the ball once more to the blind side. Through White and on the way to Tolson. Tollett on to Roskell. Roskell going for the line once more.
He's bounced that. He's bounced that. It's a tap.
Scott Roskell getting the ball over the line but losing it. Bounced, says referee Tim Mander.
Oh, good decision by the referee too. Not worried about the video replay and made a decision there. That was tremendous effort by him.
But again, London attacking down that short side on their right-hand side, London. The Canberra left-hand side defence, that's where they've scored 1 try and they almost pulled off another.
Well, I think they've got players like Mullins and Royston Hotney on this side. Ruben Wiki is on the left-hand side of defence. He should be doing a bit of a better job there, just not numbering up enough.
So, Canberra making a half bust. David Furner tackled. Kenny Nagus coming back infield and is dragged to ground. That's Jason Burnham wearing the number 20 jersey for Canberra as Laurie Daly uses the kick-out chase. Brilliantly picked up by Laurie Daly. Martin Afire gives away the chase. Laurie Daly puts it down underneath the dot. Perhaps people would say, oh, he got a lucky bounce. Don't believe it for one moment, because Laurie Daly, you've seen him do that time and time and time again. He practices so much at training. It's as if he had the ball on a piece of string. Brilliant work by Laurie Daly. He knew that there was no one at home as far as the fullback was concerned. The fullback was standing very deep. Just a little chip over the line, the regain, and he was able to get away from Duncan, beat a fire and score under the post.
Oh, that's just tremendous effort there by Laurie Daly. Once again, the London side not coming up in defence. As Furner goes to take the kick. I'll take you through this one. It's right in front of the post, and that is over. That's another 2 points in for the Canberra side. But what I was saying, Laurie Daly, he got the ball so that the Canberra side weren't going to come up. I mean, the Broncos weren't going to come up. He's taken the line, short little grubber kick, gets a lovely bounce. And now, like you said, Fire gives up, and so does everyone else, and that goes underneath the black dot.
Laurie Daly scores the try for Canberra, and so the Raiders get away to lead by 18 points to 8 over the London Broncos here at Bruce Stadium. Canberra back for the restart. That player, in fact, was offside. The referee has allowed that to go, but for my money, Quinton Pongia was offside when that kick was taken. I think he was in front of the kicker. The referee, though, has said play on. Josh White immediately trying to go wide through Peter Gill. David Krause.
Roll out, Brett, roll out, Brett.
Missed tackle count. Certainly a killing one as far as London is concerned, very heavily going against London. If you miss tackles on the Canberra side, well, you'll see the result up on the scoreboard, and what you see you won't get to like too much. Beasley tackled, last coming up for London. Josh White again going down that right-hand side and chipping over the top. Roskell almost got the ball back.
That's last tackle. No, just there, change over.
Losing the ball on the last, and as it was the last tackle, it means that it's the changeover. Good work, just chipping over the top of the line, and Roskell coming past Jason Croker and almost got the ball back.
it's good to see Josh White going to the line. Croker really didn't get back quick enough. He hit the stay line. He didn't know if he was going to run the ball. A little chip over, and it could have been regathered a little bit better. And I reckon there could have been a try on the other end.
Tell you what, Gary, he impresses me, Scott Roskell. Scored those 2 tries last week against Brisbane. He scored 1 try today, almost got over for another where he lost the ball, and that was good work then. So he's got a lot of talent, Scott Roskell. That's London.
Canberra make another mistake there, John, sorry.
Now, can they make Canberra pay for that mistake? They'd like to inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. White giving his pass. Ball to be played by Tony Mestrov. Peter Gill on the blind side. Gill showing it to Kraz. Couldn't fool the defence though. Taken ball and all by Quinton Ponga. Terry Madison turning it for White. Then unloads wide, goes away to Dunford. Dunford slipping a pass away. They almost got through the gap. At the last moment, the player coming up, who was the fullback, Andrew Duncan, was taken to ground. Now away to Madison. Madison to Duncan once more. Losing the ball though. Canberra coming up with possession. Ball played by Bradley Clyde, just 10 out from his own line.
This is where the London Broncos now have got to get a little bit closer. Quinton Ponga coming up with a big hit there. Good cover there by Bradley Clyde to get down on the ball quickly. Resulting in Canberra getting the ball. Now they've got to get out of their own red zone.
David Furner.
And mystery illness to Andrew McFadden. He's actually all right. He wasn't limping. They said there's no injuries, but he's dropped a couple of aspirin and having a head massage, so it might be a migraine.
Laurie Daly turning it back inside to Ken Nagus. Nagus putting the ball on the deck. It was picked up by Burnham. Referee says play on. Canberra 5 metres inside London territory, but then losing the ball. And London getting possession just near halfway. Terry Madison giving his pass to White.
Well, just what Josh White has done there. That's what their forwards are going to do. Kenny Nagus gets the ball away there. I thought the ball had just gone forward. That was a great ball though by Burnham to Bradley Clyde, but he comes up with a mistake. A rare mistake from Bradley Clyde we don't really see.
Russell Borden. Borden runs it straight at the defensive Luke Prittis, who has probably copped an accidental boot in the head, Luke Prittis. May have just got a cut over the eye, I think, at the moment, but he goes back into the defensive line. Loose pass picked up by Tollett, then away to Andrew Duncan. Duncan taken, though, in a good covering tackle by the Canberra defence. Matt Dunford. Dunford runs it to the 20. Gives his pass away to Madison, then to David Clowes, back inside to Terry Madison. Madison looking for a fire. Fire turned his pass away, but terrific work by Laurie Daly. Daly coming up with an absolute bell ringer to hit Peter Gill in a try saver, but it's still alive through Martin Afire. Back to David Krause. Krause uses the kick too deep over the dead ball line.
Too deep over the dead ball line. It was over the balcony at the other end of the field. What a great tackle here by Daly. Watch this coming up right here. Whooshka. Peter Gill.
He read it brilliantly, Laurie Daly. He realised that was a tackle that had to be made. And didn't he make it well? So, Luke Prittis.
Terry. No, away, mate. Mate, you go. No, you, mate, you're in front. I've told you 3 times. Just wait, Brad.
So Tim Mander, the referee, has lost patience with London being up inside the 10. Terry Madison, their skipper, will go to the sin bin. You can hardly dispute that. They have been in front of him virtually all day. I know the penalty count is heavily in favour of Canberra, but to be realistic, there's a couple of other times that the referee could have penalised them as well.
Yeah, he certainly could have penalised them about 4 or 5 times. They take a quick tap.
And they had been warned that the next time it happened, someone would go to the bin as Jason Croker. Croker trying to get away from Tolson Tollett. 1.5 minutes until the break. London just have to make sure that they hold Canberra out until at least half time. Furner slipping it away to Jason Croker. They're up to London 20. Bradley Clyde. Clyde with the first settling tackle.
The referee's patience getting tried too much here. They really are lying on the tackle too long.
Laurie Daly. Daly wide to Mullins. Mullins got away from a fire. He's heading for the corner. There'll be no stopping him. The moment he was away from a fire, you knew it was a try. And he'll improve the position for David Furner by putting it down virtually underneath the post. Try number 2 to to Brett Mullins. Well, it's hard enough defending against Canberra when you've got the full contingent on the field. When you're one man short, it's nigh impossible. And Canberra in for yet another try.
Yeah, what a great pass here by Laurie Daly. Martin O'Fine actually slips over. I thought he had Mullins covered, but as you said, as he gets away from him, it's good night. The worst thing about it, they allow Mullins to go underneath the post and put the ball down once again, one-handed. That's a terrific ball from Laurie Daly. They all thought it was going to be, you just see Martin O'Fine slip over there. It gets a clear run to the try line, and Duncan can't cover him up.
Would have been interesting had Martin Afai been able to keep on his feet. Conversion successful by David Furner. I still tend to think that Mullins would have got the better of him, but David Furner converts. And so half-time here at Bruce Stadium, the Canberra Raiders get away to a convincing lead. It's Canberra 24 leading London 8.
Here today, well, turn things around and go forward and make less mistakes in the second half.
A tough task now facing London for about the next 7 minutes, while they're a man short, and a vital man it is. Their captain Terry Madison playing at 5/8 today, as Canberra bring it back to 10 from halfway. Brett Hetherington reaches the halfway mark. Up the short side through Bradley Clyde. Clyde gives it away to Jason Croker. Croker got back in on the inside of Dunford. Got to 30 metres out from the line.
Well, that's a great set of six, really, isn't it? There's Bradley Clyde going for a chip and chase.
Clyde using the kick. It goes into the in goal. In fact, will go touch in goal. London will restart with a tap at the 20.
Well, you just got to look from the kickoff. They have made virtually 80 metres in a set of six.
Let's go down to the sideline. And Sean Edwards, who's injured today for London, is there to have a talk with us and tell us what was said at half-time.
Well, obviously, Tony Curry was very dirty about the referee, but we're going to get used to that. 6-1 penalty count. I think the difference in the two teams basically has been the finishing. Our approach work has been very good in the first half. Maybe even better than Canberra's, but every time Canberra have had a chance, it punished us because, you know, the back line is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I think the only thing really, matey, is that your defence sometimes is just falling off some easy tackles. It allows Canberra to make those big yards up the middle, and then you've got to contend with the likes of Daly, Mullins and Royston Lightning and Kenny Nags. It makes it very, very tough, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that, Gary, but I think if Scott Roskell would have scored that try, maybe we could have got it drawing. But like you say, that's what football's about. The last 5 minutes of each half, and Canberra's punished us heavily.
Well, just one quick one. When are you back, and how is the injury?
Hopefully we'll be back next week against Canterbury. I hurt my hamstring, giving the final pass to the try at Brisbane, but we'll hopefully be back next week.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for speaking with us, Sean Edwards, the injured London Bronco. Desperately would like to have him out there today, but that's not to be, as Quinton Pongia is able to give his pass away to Laurie Daly. Here's danger to Ben Kennedy, got it at the second attempt. Gets to 12 metres out from the line. Tulson Tollett made the tackle. Quickly away to Laurie Daly. Daly on to Ruben Wiki. Wiki trying to use his brute strength, is 5 metres short, and again up the blind side go Canberra. Only 1 metre out from the line. That's where the ball is played, and the last is coming up for the Raiders. Daly will use the kick, putting it deep across field. Martin Afire going up for it and takes it. Now he was in the field of play, Martin Afire, but did well to get his pass away, and London will bring the ball out to about 12 metres out from their own line.
Oh, that was a great take, but also the offload. You see, gets around there, gets up nice and high, drops the ball back off there to another London Broncos player. That's
Tony
tremendous.
Martin, who's come onto the field for London, but that was good work by Martin Afire under plenty of pressure. So as London bring it out from their own line, let's take you to the sideline, and Craig Bellamy from the coaching staff at Canberra. Craig, what did Mel Meninga have to say during the break?
Mel just was quite happy with our first half. Probably our goal line defence was a touch brittle, so we don't think we were communicating real well there, and probably wasn't getting up off our line as quick as we'd like. But overall, we were happy to come in at the score as it was at half-time.
How's the young bloke, McFadden?
He's got a bit of a knock to the head, and he's not feeling real good at the moment. He had a great first half while he was on there, but I don't think we'll see him again today.
Thanks very much, Craig. Craig Bellamy from the Canberra Raiders coaching staff. There's another kick-finding touch from London, and so Jason Burnham will work the scrum for the Raiders.
Hold it back, Martin.
Laurie Daly. Daly runs the ball at Duncan. Borden comes in to help him in the tackle. Once more to Laurie Daly, then away to Wiki and on to Nagus. Nagus was almost through. Matt Dunford came across well in cover defence. Up the blind side once more. Brett Mullins making a break and getting into centre field and slips the pass away. It came through Prudis and then away to Nagus. He's 20 metres out from the London line. They're looking dangerous from Burnham. Then away to Daly. Switch back on the inside to Mullins. Mullins, 10 metres out from the line, is held on to and pulled to ground. Plays the ball quickly away to Burnham. This is Clyde. Back to Laurie Daly. Daly will burst through and score. Laurie Daly in to score once more for the Canberra Raiders, and they get away to lead by 28-8 with a kick to come.
Well, I think if the London Broncos were going to get penalised at all, they shouldn't have been penalised here because there was no one behind the referee whatsoever. The referee plays a good advantage, which allows Laurie Daly to get through some easy tackles to score underneath the post. This is the break by Mullins. Terrific effort here to get away from players. Great inside ball there to Prentice. Everyone backs up so sensational in this team here. Out to Nagus. It gets down and the big thing again. The Broncos really haven't got time to get back. Bradley Clyde offloads here to Daly. And really some easy tackles he gets through there of Mestrov.
Well,
Tony Carey be happy with that one.
They're having trouble getting back the 10 in defence, but it's doubly hard for them given that they're a man short in defence at the moment. Here's David Furner. They're making it easy for Furner today, scoring the tries underneath the post. And so the Canberra Raiders now lead the London Broncos by 30 points to 8 here at Bruce Stadium.
Once again, you see Jason Byrne running across the field, picks up Bradley Clyde. The big thing is that they're changing angles all the time. If you haven't got a defence line that goes up staggered, you're always going to find some holes around the middle of the ruck, Johnny.
So the restart taken by Canberra. And it's really backs to the wall now as far as London is concerned. Tony Mestrov brings it back to his own 20. Given away by Josh White to Peter Gill. Gill sending a pass that was lost. Andrew Duncan coming into the line, losing the ball, the turnover. And so Canberra have it only 12 metres out from the line.
Well, that's one thing the London Broncos don't need to drop it here.
Daly away to Ben Kennedy. Kennedy just stands in the tackle, sends the easiest of passes away, and Ken Nagus, who scored 6 tries last week, goes in to score his first this afternoon. It's all too easy now for Canberra, 34 points to 8.
Once again, it comes down as a mistake by the Broncos there. The London Broncos, their own 25, taking the ball up, loses it down there. Oh, I'll tell you, they keep doing this and not completing their sets of 6, they will find themselves in all sorts of trouble. A great short ball there. Kennedy goes through the hole, brushes off Tolson Tollett, gets a great ball there to Nagus. And mate, he just beats the fullback and Duncan very, very easily.
So Ken Nagus goes in to score the try. David Furner, with one of his more difficult kicks of the day. He's about 10 metres to the side of the upright. Still easy for David Furner. And Canberra now lead London by 36 points to 8. As we watch this try with Ben Kennedy slipping through the tackle of Tollett, getting the arm free to Ken Nagus. And Nagus over for yet another try. How easy.
Finally some good news. John Terry Madison back on the field. He's back from the sin bin.
Well, he's been the player that they have missed really around that ruck area, control and then going forward for them. They've scored something like 3 tries while he's been off the field. So it has been pretty costly that last 10 minutes.
That it has. Peter Gill with the play the ball. Robbie Beasley looking for the runner. That runner was Tony Mestrov. Russell Borden. Borden with a good unload back to Beasley. Ball and all tackle made by Ben Kennedy. London get inside Canberra's half. Terry Madison tackled on number 5. Beasley gives it back to White. White uses the kick. Straight over the head of Jason Croker and into touch.
Well, it's all right having the kick and getting it out and getting the scrum and slowing the game down, but I think when you're behind by so many points, 36 points to 8, you're better off getting your players back behind you, going forward to the line, putting the ball in there, get someone to go through, try and put some pressure on the fullback. and maybe get a chance of getting the ball back. Just playing that 6 out for a kick and going for a scrum and give them back the ball, truly at this stage of the game is a waste of time.
Simon Wolford's gone on for the first time.
So Simon Wolford wearing the number 9 jumper for the Canberra Raiders. Here's another break being made by Ken Nagus. Nagus looking to try and add to his tally of 1 try in this second half. I don't know that he'll reach the 6 he scored last week, but gee, he is an attacking genius. But an intercept taken by Josh White, and very much against the run of play. Josh White, the little halfback from the London Broncos, will go in and score. So Josh White saying to his players, having scored the try, it's not over. Good goal kicker during his years in Australia with Eastern Suburbs before, of course, he moved to the Broncos. Had a 68% success rate in Australia. As we watch the try again, the intercept taken, Ben Kennedy thought he had the ball. All of a sudden, Josh White said, here, that's mine. And in to score, little Josh White.
And in the other end there, on the Canberra side, would have been Jason Croker, who probably would have scored down the other side.
So the restart. And Canberra running the ball back from inside their own 20.
Interesting to note, the head-up's Canberra 96 to the London Broncos 82.
Jason Burnham to play the ball. 15 on their own side of halfway, the Raiders. Ben Kennedy gets to his feet after the tackle of Peter Gill. Brett Hetherington getting through. He was almost through the gap. Held on to, though, by Tony Mestrov. Daly turning the pass back on the inside. Looking to get the ball away. Pongia couldn't do so. Lost the ball as he tried to get that arm free to slip the pass around the corner. Knock on by Quinton Pongia.
Yeah, quickly just going to the top of Josh White there, trying to flick that ball there, but just drops it forward. There's plenty of Canberra players backing up there. You see the error count, of course. Canberra, unusual to see them making more errors than the London side.
So the scrum won by London. Terry Madison put to ground in the tackle of Jason Burnham. Josh White giving his pass away to 80 Spencer. Tolson Tollett almost through the gap. David Furter clings to him. Josh White unloading his pass through Gill to Martin to Afire. Martin Afire looking to stand in the tackle of Brett Mullins. Called on to play it. They're 30 metres out from the Canberra line. Martin having to go back to pick that ball up. Will play it on the last for London. White uses the kick. This time towards Royston Lightning's wing. Lightning can't take it. It finds touch. A few metres out from the line, so this scrum with a Canberra feed will be 10 metres out from the Canberra line and 20 in from the touchline.
Well, Josh White's kicking the ball. He's done a good effort of getting the Canberra side down about 5 metres off their try line. But the other big thing is he's got no one to pass the ball. If he's going to run it, there's no chance whatsoever he's going to have anyone to pass because they're all in front of him. Interesting to know that Canberra have had only 6 kicks in general play with the London Broncos, 12.
Right there.
Royston Lightning in his first receiver after the scrum win by Canberra. Hurt in that tackle too, Royston Lightning.
Over here, mate. Just take it over here.
Referee giving no sympathy to Royston Lightning, calling on another player to play the ball.
I think he might have been just a little bit unlucky to catch the knees of Gill in his back there.
So as the trainers work on Royston Lightning in back play, scrum one, Laurie Daly, in fact, has to go round the fallen Royston Lightning. David Furner to play it. 20 short of halfway. Quinton Pongia running it straight at 80 Spencer. Bumped away from Spencer. Couldn't beat the second line of defence. That was Mestrov. Back on the short side, it's called for by Laurie Daly. Ken Nagus tackled by Borden over the top. Martin underneath. Canberra now on the last, using the kick. And this kick will go into touch. Greg Barwick going back for it. It's Barwick who's just come off the reserves bench for the London Broncos.
That really was a better effort by the London Broncos there to keep Canberra inside their own half, and Laurie Daly coming up with the kick on the right-hand side of the field, where Josh White was doing that all in the first half. At least now they get a chance of a scrum, 7 against 7, so hopefully they can put on a play instead of just taking it one off the run and get tackled and try their arm. Josh White looks like he's injured a leg.
Josh White.
No, I'm wrong, it's Beasley, the hooker.
It is Robbie Beasley just getting attention as in back play. Royston Lightning is okay, albeit a little ginger over there on the right wing for Canberra, but he's back in the line.
Line now, Laurie.
No let up for the Broncos. David Wesley goes on for Brett Hetherington. It's just a brilliant bench for Canberra.
Tolson Tollett, tackled by Laurie Daly. Josh White this time runs it to the line and then is dumped by David Furner.
You guys are in front of me. Never came back.
This time against Canberra for being up inside the 10. London get the penalty. Only their second of the game.
Oh, they're all in front of Tim Manda there. They're all about 2 or 3 metres in front. I just wonder next time, will he send someone to the bin?
Peter Gill, as first receiver on the short side, gives it away to Russell Borden. He got away from Furner. Couldn't get away, though, from the tackle of Prudis. Matt Dunford with a good unload to Gill, who switches it back into centre field to 80 Spencer. Thought he saw a half break. Closed on him very quickly, though, as he was put to ground by Jason Burnham. Greg Barwick. London with a quick play the ball, getting to 10 metres out from the line. Gill able to unload. Martin a fire back down the blind side. The kick goes over the touchline.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing the ending of that set of 6 like that. Martin O'Fire trying to get the old chip over and get the ball in the field of play. Martin O'Fire coming around, knows no one's at home. Royston Lightning stuck up there. Seen better chip kicks from Martin before. I don't think that's one of his best ones.
All right. Bend down, bend down.
So Canberra work the scrum. And make the break immediately. Straight through. How easy was that? Canberra just running into open spaces. Ruben Wiki sets sail for the line, being chased by Tolson Tollett. Tollett, to his credit, hasn't given up the chase. But Ruben Wiki has run some 80 metres to score the try, made to look oh so easy by the Canberra Raiders as they hit 40. Canberra 40, London 14, and another easy kick to come for David Furner.
Well, he did make it look so easy up the scrum here. Greg Barwick, he gets rid of him quite easy, goes up high as Barwick, and Ruben Wiki's just too strong, and then there's no one at home. Everyone giving chase. The only person that's close enough to him really is Jason Croker. He thought he might get a try, but there's no chance after running 85 metres that big old Ruben Wiki was ever going to pass the ball.
Ruben Wiki is a very tough customer, a rugged defender, and as you can see, when he's in attack and given a little bit of space or a player who goes high on him, he's got such terrific upper body strength, Ruben Wiki, that he can simply brush away from tacklers who really aren't committed. As David Furner with the attempted conversion of the Wiki try. David Furner converts, and the Canberra Raiders lead the London Broncos.
Madison would have just come over the top. Ruben Wiki seen the open spaces. No one was going to catch him.
London have made another change. Andrew Hamilton's gone back on for Adrian Spencer.
So London, after the restart, but still inside their own red zone from Madison to White. Furner and Burnham going in to make the tackle. Getting outside their own 20. Away to Martin Lafire. Tackled by Royston Lightning. Russell Borden. Borden hits it hard but runs into a solid tackle. Knocked over by Quinton Pongia. Matt Dunford put to ground on tackle number 5. White uses the kick. This time going over the head of Ken Nagus. Won't find touch. Nagus retrieves it inside his own in goal. Then sends the pass to Jason Croker. Croker got away from Tollett. Getting down the blind side. He's still going. Tollett comes the second time. Gives it back for the Canberra Raiders, 46-14.
I just wondered that pass by Kenny Nagus wasn't just about a half a metre forward. If it wasn't, that is a tremendous try for old London Broncos. Look at that. Just watch this pass if we can pick it up. No, that's a great pass. That's excellent work by both Croker and Nagus. One, Croker staying wide enough, but what about the Fenn? He just gets rid of them all over the place. And Ruben Wiki backing up. Scores underneath the post. I wonder who's going to kick this one. No, they give it to David Fell. I thought Ruben might kick his own goal. He's happy about scoring on that one, wasn't he, Ruben Wiki? Big smile.
David Furner with another easy attempt. 7 from 7 becomes 8 from 8. And Canberra lead London by 48 points to 14 here at Bruce Stadium. The try again, Jason Croker with the Fenn to push away from Tulson Tollett.
Another change to the Broncos. Salter's gone on for Tony Mestrov, but they really need more than that at the moment.
Yeah, Matthew Salter coming on for London. So 48-14. But I'm sure that Mel Meninga will be saying to his side, look, don't let up, because for and against can be very important in this competition.
One thing you look at, the Canberra's defence has been absolutely outstanding here today, and also last week. Even though they won by 70 points in last week's game against Halifax, their defence really paved the way for them to score the amount of tries they did.
Well, remembering that from the A pool, in which Canberra is the top sides are in Pool A, only 3 of the sides will go through, so you could be undefeated but miss out simply on for and against. And so the Canberra bench know that, and they'll be saying to their side, look, just keep pouring on the points. In the long run, it could prove vital. But after their big win last week and another big win coming up today, you would tend to think
good
that
hands by
Canberra
Josh
are
White,
short of getting there.
Just good hands here by Josh White. Terrible pass from the dummy half area. Bent right over, right at his toes. Great take.
Peter Gill turning it back to Salter. Salter standing in the tackle of Kennedy. Can't get his pass away though. Terry Madison taking it right on the advantage line, slipping his pass away through Dunford, who got it away to Barwick, taken ball and all in the tackle of Laurie Daly. Josh White. White chipping over the top of the line. Croker waits for it, takes it and then drops it, Jason Croker. Referee will rule the knock on, which I think is fair enough. The crowd don't agree, but there was no doubt in my mind that that ball had travelled towards the opposition try line.
He had us back to the... But there goes the ball. Just... Oh, it might be just a little bit unlucky there. It might have gone the other way for him. Play on. Just looking on that replay there, Johnny. He did have us back to the field, to the opposition's try line, but the ball came about half a metre forward.
Jason Croker let the touch judge know that he thought it went backwards too.
You can't repeat what he said, but...
So the Robbie Beasley going to the blood bin. As we wait for this scrum to be fed. Now, the problem is, have London got a replacement? And they have 80 Spencer will come back off the bench.
They're looking a bit light on too, John. With 17 minutes to go, they've only got one interchange left, so things aren't getting any better for them.
So a blood bin, of course, which doesn't count as an interchange, but 80 Spencer on and goes into the hooking role, and it's won by London. London trying to cut their way through. Barwick looking to get his arms around the corner to pick up Tulson Tollett. Loses the ball, Greg Barwick.
Yeah, they'll be a little bit disappointed there, Greg Barwick. Tulson Tollett, it looks like, goes to the line. Good work by Josh White. Gets the ball out nice and wide. Terry Madison. Again, that is Greg Barwick trying to get the ball to Tulson Tollett at the last second. Just trying to push the pass. And that was only the first tackle. It's also to note, Canberra really have made more tackles. They made 167. The London Broncos 157.
Jason Burnham having a scamper out of dummy half. Gets to his own 20-metre line. Bradley Clyde got away from Salter. This is Laurie Daly.
I think that's the first time Laurie's actually been tackled with the ball.
I think you're right. Simon Wolford giving a short pass on to David Wesley. So the wide ball once more for Ruben Wiki. This time Tolson Tollett has hold of him. Wolford to Burnham. Jason Burnham uses the kick. Turning London around. Greg Barwick going back into his own in goal. He'll have to retrieve this ball. Can he get out of the in goal? He's beat the one, can't beat the second though. David Furner with a crunching tackle. So a goal line dropout coming up for the London Broncos.
Oh, how scary is that? The kick goes down. You've got to pick the ball up where Barwick turns around. Hello, there's Ruben Wiki, Dave Furner, there's Croker. Oh, there's Prentice, there's everyone there, bar any of his teammates trying to help him get out.
And London very slow to get back to take this goal line dropout. I suppose you could really blame them, could you?
I think they probably should try a short little drop out here, try and retrieve the ball back instead of chasing 40 metres up the field and trying to tackle some Canberra players.
So Josh White to take the goal line dropout for the Broncos. David Wesley takes it and runs it back at the defence.
They've got another fresh man running at them too. Luke DeVico's on for Ben Kennedy.
Attempted intercept by Josh White, paid off for him last time with a try. Doesn't this time. Knock on by Josh White.
He's a little bit unlucky there. Prentice getting out of the dummy half area, just trying to go for a little short ball to the Canberra guys that are backing up around that ruck area.
Take it back, fellas, back
If he hadn't knocked that ball on, I think we could have seen another try underneath the post.
No push. Stay down, Matt. No, you got to bind properly, mate. You got to bind properly.
Terry Madison is not onside at the scrum. On the right-hand side of the scrum, he is miles offside. There he goes.
Jason Burnham feeding the scrum and winning it to Ken Nagus. Nagus got away from Barwick, getting into open spaces. Just wrong foots Peter Gill and makes it look so easy, Ken Nagus. Try number 2 for Ken Nagus and his 8th try of the World Club Challenge. He's loving the Visa World Club Challenge, Ken Nagus. Second try for Kenny Nagus, and Canberra go past 50. They lead by 52-14.
Oh, a little bit disappointing there. I tell you, Greg Barwick wouldn't be too pleased. He'd come up with the ball behind there, they had the dropout, and then there's a scrum fed there. And Kenny Nagus just too much pace ready to get around. But again, it's just poor defence, I think. The Greg Barwick going low there. Didn't get close enough to Kenny Nagus. Then it's just a straight sprint to the trial, and no one was going to get him. Tony Martin comes across, but he had as much chance as me as tackling Kenny Nagus today. None.
David Furner lining up another shot at goal. Gee, his teammates have helped him today, David Furner. He hasn't had a difficult one as yet. And that's 9 from 9. So, the Canberra Raiders 54, London 14.
Once again, you see Kenny Nagus going out to his right. I think Greg Barwick could have made the tackle, but he's got to get closer. Tony Martin tried his hardest to get across there. But maybe this guy's in full flight, as we know last week, scoring 6 tries. As Canberra go for the short kick off and get it.
And get it back to David Furner. Switched quickly, it comes to Laurie Daly. Daly has Mullins with him, tries to run himself, and Beasley makes the tackle on Laurie Daly. Only 10 metres out from the line. Played quickly, given across field once more to Luke DeVico. DeVico heads it towards the goalpost and is tackled by Tolson Tollett. Given away now to Ken Nagus. Nagus looking for his 3rd try. He's 2 metres out from the line. Ball played, given by Wolford to DeVico, and he simply slams his way through and scores right next to the upright. Luke DeVico, the try scorer, and it's 58-14.
Well, when you think it all goes back to the kickoff where the London Broncos thought the ball was going to be kicked deep, but it wasn't. A little short kick there. Prentice comes up with the ball. Great effort there by Furner to back him up. And then as you give the ball back to the Canberra side, you know, with them 15 metres out, they are going to hurt you. Laurie Daly cutting through the middle there. They try to get a quick play of the ball. The players, the London Broncos, try to hold down. Prentice runs across, picks up the Vico on the inside pass. I think he'll be pretty happy with the big front row score on that one.
Smart thinking by Canberra, and yet another one right next to the post for David Furner. 10 from 10. I don't think he scored a try, David Furner. Has he? He's got 20 points up. I don't think he scored a try.
There's that try once again. Prentice just jumping out the dummy half to the left-hand side. big fella, Davico. He's pretty happy about that.
One try. Has he, David Furner? Got one try? We'll just check with Graham.
Statistician.
Graham Roberts, our statistician, will tell us. And he's certainly got 20 as far as goal kicks are concerned. So this is Matthew Salter giving the pass back to Terry Madison. 60 points to 14. 10 minutes remaining. Well, they ran up 70 points last week against Halifax. Can they beat that today? Awesome side. When they are in full flight, they are a terrific rugby league team, the Canberra Raiders. Wonderful side. An interesting game next week when they line up against Wigan.
Yeah, very interesting as Tolson Tollett comes across the field. But the big thing is that I go back to their defence because they really have turned the whole season around, and even in this Visa World Cup Club Challenge, that their defence has been outstanding.
Certainly has. Andrew Hamilton put over on tackle number 5. On the short side, it goes to Josh White. White once more using the kick. He'll find it. It's 15 metres out from the Canberra line. 60 to 14. Canberra leading London as Ben Kennedy comes on to replace Bradley Clyde. Brad Clyde being given early mark by his coach Mel Meninga.
They're right? Okay, Jason, in there. Wait there. Wait.
Ken Nagus working down the blind side, taking that pass from the scrum base from Jason Burnham.
Hands out.
Jason Croker going from dummy half.
Josh White just giving Kenny Nagus a bit of a head push in the mud there.
Burnham to Quinton Pongia. 10 inside his own half. Wolford to Burnham to Daly to Furner. Furner got away from Martin. Peter Gill gets him at the second attempt. Inside London's territory. Last coming up, Laurie Daly. Daly uses the high kick, being chased through by Jason Croker. Up above the pack goes Greg Barwick and takes it, and then is put to ground by Ruben Wick.
That's a great take by Greg Barwick. Had his back turned to the defence, took it magnificently. Watch this, never takes his eyes off the ball. Ruben Wickie coming in defence as he hits the ground. Whooshka. Good, that's a great take.
Tony Martin tackle for London, right on his own 20-metre mark. Martin a fire who's been in plenty of sides that have won by big scores like this one, particularly when he was playing for the mighty Wigan. He's on the receiving end of a drubbing this afternoon. Andrew Hamilton. On the last now, the London Broncos. Josh White on the short side. This time makes a mistake and puts it out on the full. It'll be a changeover. Canberra will get the ball for the London mistake on the last. And the changeover is 5 inside London's territory.
Well, you take that out of Josh White's game. I think he's played pretty good all day long.
Laurie Daly floating the pass. Royston Lightning had to go back to pick it up and then slipped away from Martin of Fire. Gets on the inside of Martin, gave it back to Ben Kennedy. Good tackle by Peter Gill in cover. The Raiders looking dangerous though once more. Luke DeVico gives a one-handed pass, went to nobody originally, then was very quickly picked up. First of all by Wolford, then away to Laurie Daly, and Daly will go in and score.
He's had a great captain's knock, hasn't he, Laurie Daly? Controlling, he's pretty happy with the try. Whitney scored that one underneath the post again. 64-14, and I think he will kick this goal. Once again, the London Broncos not really putting the players on the ground. DeVico getting a little pass away, and Daly just burst into hole. That's a great ball to be held up by the young hooker there in Wolford. And Daly just strolls over underneath the post, puts it down. I'd say he'd be pretty happy with that one.
Laurie Daly, his third try of the afternoon. Of course, he didn't play last week when Canberra scored 70 points against Halifax. David Furner takes the score to 66. Canberra 66, London 14. 6 minutes remaining here at Bruce Stadium.
That's just a great short ball there by Wilford. And Laurie Daly, really, there's no one back there to even get near him. Just jogs over, puts the ball down, looks back. Says thank you very much.
So David Furner is getting plenty of practice with the goal kicking today and the restarts. As he kicks deep, Terry Madison is able to take it, gives it away to Matthew Salter, who ambles up into the Canberra defence. Wrestled to ground by David Wesley.
Just going back to Josh White, John, I think he's had a pretty fine game, barring that kick he put out on the full there. He's tried his little heart out here today, trying to get the side going forward, putting those kicks in, making the ground for them. But really, they just lack a little bit of ball control and putting the player on the ground at vital times.
Andrew Hamilton looking to get through the Canberra defence, but there's absolutely no way through the DeVico tackle. Terry Madison. Madison switches it to Russell Borden. Borden saw a half gap, did well to unload back to Madison, to Gill, to Martin, had a fire on the outside. Tony Martin goes himself, eventually put to ground by the Canberra defence. 5 tackles gone on, they run it on the last. Tony Martin uses the kick ahead for Martin of fire. Dropping back for it though will be Ken Nagus. Nagus was back in his in goal, not effectively held, runs it back, tries to get away from the defence. Salter eventually is underneath him, drags Nagus to ground, 10 out from his own line. Jason Croker lost the ball there, Croker. Well, I thought he did. I thought there was a little knock on in there by Jason Croker. The referee says, play on. Luke DeVico, one-handed pass, knocked back by London. This is picked up by Robbie Beasley. Beasley down the short side, got inside the tackle of Wolford, 11 metres out. Can they score a try? Salvage something from the wreck, London. From White, then away to Tollett. Tollett's pass on to Peter Gill. Gill tries to go through, can't. The defence holds on to him as he's put to ground, knocked over by Quinton Poggia. Greg Barwick gets to 2 metres from the line. Josh White. White looking for a runner. It's Borden. Back on the ground to White. Slung back across field. Andrew Hamilton shed the first line of defence. Can't get away from the second. Simon Wolford puts him over. To Peter Gill. Gill runs it to the line. Short pass on to Terry Madison. And Madison goes in to score a try for the London Broncos. Terry Madison, their captain, is over for London. 66-18. Terry Madison, will he have the shot at goal himself, or will he give it to Greg Barwick?
Great ball here by Peter Gill. Goes to the line, draws the fist. DeVico. Reuben Wiki stays out just a little bit too long. Wasn't too sure. He had 2 players on the outside of him, but Terry Madison doing a great job and running to the hole. That is a tremendous pass there. Reuben just going a little bit fraction high there. I think he just pulled out that tackle just in time.
Terry Madison will attempt the conversion of his own try. Terry would probably like to use up 3 minutes to kick this goal so that he doesn't have to restart.
That's one of your best, Johnny. He's only got 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go.
Well, Canberra, who put on 70 last week, they've got up 66 so far today. Madison's kick is over. So the London Broncos bring up 20 points. Tend to forget that under normal circumstances. 20 would be a very competitive score, but when the opposition's got 66, you're not in the ball game.
Once again, we see Peter Gill there, just ran to the line, drawing DeVico, and over he goes. That's great play, really, because they are way behind, but at least they haven't stopped trying. That's a great effort by the London Broncos to get that try so late in this part of the game.
Terry Madison, who said he's going to have one more season in London before he'll probably then decide to call it a day as far as playing is concerned, and he'd like to come back to Australia to take on a coaching role, perhaps with a junior side to start with. That's where all the good coaches start, don't they, in the juniors, Gary Freeman?
Well, that's where I started. Very junior, under 16s.
And doing an extremely good job with the Parramatta under 16s. Into a grand final next week at Undefeated. We wish you the best of luck when you come up against North Sydney.
If I don't turn up Sunday, you know what's happening.
We'll forgive you. Laurie Daly. Canberra tried to say, can we beat the 70 of last week? Royston Lightning gives it back to Brett Mullins. If anyone can score a try from nowhere, it's this fella. Mullins is put over. Just near halfway, 1 minute remaining. David Furner. Furner slipping a pass to Luke DeVico. The ball went to ground. Terry Madison goes in to pick up the dregs for London. Scott Roskell, who scored a try early on, hasn't had many chances since that first try.
Yeah, Canberra really just forcing the ball now. Burnham coming up with a mistake there. Terry Madison coming over the top and just covering the ball. Good work to cover from that ruck area.
Josh White. White's pass on to Borton. He slipped into that tackle of Ruben Wiki. Gets immediately to his feet and plays it. Hamilton got away from Wiki. Gets the pass away in the tackle of Pongia from Barwick. The pass was knocked down. Brett Mullen's got a hand to it. Touched by the Canberra Raiders, so the tackle count is restarting. Not that it really matters that much because we're inside the last 5 seconds now. Long pass out to Scott Roskell. Roskell uses the little chip ahead. Going back for it though is Jason Croker. Croker takes the ball, and for full marks to the Canberra Raiders. They're making every post a winner in the Visa Club Challenge. 70 points to 6 last week against Halifax, and 66 points to 20 it is today. The Canberra Raiders over the London Broncos.
Well, they have certainly played amazing football here today. Scored some great tries. See Laurie Daly there. He's very, very happy with the way his side's performed, being the captain today while Ricky Stewart was out. And, of course, McFadden, can't really forget him. Had a great first 20 or 30 minutes of the game before he came up with that bad headache, that migraine. But this guy here certainly led by example. He knows he's got to go there, congratulate the crowd, because they have turned up today. It has been cold, but it's good to see them turn out and see their home side.
Let's take you to the sideline, and Matt McEwen has with him Bradley Clyde.
Well, Brad, the London Broncos put a bit of a scare in you leading midway through the first half, but you guys really struck back.
Well, in the first 20 minutes, we knew that they'd be coming out pretty tough, and we didn't realise that, well, we scored the first points and probably relaxed a little bit, but to their credit, they bounced back, and they scored 20 points, and which is, you know, a few more than what the team last week scored.
You had an awful start to the season. Now you guys get in front and you keep on going on with it. You seem intent on racking up as much points against every side you play. Yeah, that's right. We're pretty disappointed with the way we started the season. Everyone's probably got that in the back of their mind as a bit of motivation. So, you know, to the boys' credit today, it was a freezing cold day. The track was a bit muddy, and they concentrated all day, which was very good. You've made a great start to the World Club Challenge. Good luck. Thanks very much.
There he is, Bradley Clyde. Played extremely well this afternoon for the Canberra Raiders in their 66 points to 20 victory. As we take you back to the sideline, and from the London Broncos, Tulson Tollett is there to speak with Matt McEwen.
Well, not the performance you're after, but a good start at least.
Yeah, the first half was very solid. You know, we expected Canberra to come out all guns blazing in the second half, and you know, with Terry off the field in the first 10 minutes and a few defensive lapses, they took full advantage of it.
You can't give them the start. I mean, as soon as you guys got in front, you gave them a bit of a sniff, a few silly errors, and they went on with it. Yeah, well, you know, they're a team of champions, and like you said, if you give them the sniff, they are going to go on with the job, and they did exactly that against us. Well, it was a good performance last week, going so well against the Broncos. Is it disappointing this week? Yeah, I think we hit a bit of a low this week, building ourselves up for the Brisbane game, but no, full credit to Canberra. They're a champion team, and you know, they really did a job. Okay, you got to come back now. You've got one more game down here. Yeah, well, you know, we've got one more game against Canterbury and then the 3 games in England, so we have to pick ourselves up for next week against Canterbury and go from there. Okay, good luck with the rest of the competition. Thank you.
There he is, Tulson Tollett from the London Broncos with Matt McEwen. Well, a big win today for the Canberra Raiders, with a 66-point victory. Their goal kicker, David Furner, he didn't score a try, but he kicked 11 out of 11 for 22 points. So if you like seeing points scored, then you had a smorgasbord this afternoon with 86 points in all. But the Canberra Raiders far too good. At the moment, I think they would be the favourites for the Visa Club Challenge. A big victory this afternoon at home at Bruce Stadium. Canberra 66, London 20. On behalf of Gary Freeman, Matt McEwen and all of the Fox Sports team, I'm John McCoy, bidding you good afternoon from a very cool Bruce Stadium in Canberra.
Yes, an absolute try-fest at Bruce Stadium. Laurie Daly and Brett Mullins scoring enough tries today to break Mel Meninga's club record of 76 tries. So another milestone broken by two great players.
Yeah, two great players. A great captain's knock by Laurie Daly. He's certainly led from the front, particularly in the second half. He scored a brilliant try, of course, in the first half, but it was a greater team effort, more support play. They talk about Mullins, who's wonderful on his feet. I tell you what, Ken Nagas, he's not bad either. And he played wonderful. To the London Broncos, they didn't throw it in. They were tired. I don't think they seem to be as fit as the Raiders, who are running hot at the moment, and also just quickly they were falling off a lot of tackles as well.
Yeah, but all the same, Paul, what began so promisingly for London, they really did fly the flag for England briefly in the first half. It all fell apart too quickly in the second.
Yeah, it did. London played some good football in spells. That's the only problem with English football at the moment. It seems to be in spells. The Raiders were very, very strong. When you have Daly, he was on fire today. Like I was saying to you, when you have substitutes like Crockett and Ponga, it's unbelievable.
Gary, what's your feeling when you have to go out and mark up against players like Daly, and you're the last line of defence for the Salford Reds? It's a feeling that can't be all too reassuring.
That's right, but you're playing professional rugby, and they don't come any bigger than World Club Champions games, and it's just a privilege to come up against these likes of these players.
All right, well, you're going to come up against the likes of the North Queensland Cowboys. It's going to be a difficult match on Saturday night. They're playing in fine form even without some of their key forwards, so that'll be a tough match, Paul.
Yeah, it'll be a very, very tough match. We've got to go up there, we've got to show a bit of pride. England, I know when we played against Adelaide, we played the national anthem that like an hour went out, and I'll tell you the truth, it was a bit of a tear in my eye because it's the first time I've been over here, but when I went out on the field, it just didn't happen.
I think it might be in your interest too for Andy Gregory to talk to the referee prior to it about the play of the ball, because there seems to be a lot of controversy about it, and standing up to play the ball might give you a better chance.
Well, that may be because, like in England, like we're setting our defence on the people standing up and playing the ball. They're not even getting off the ground and playing the ball, and by the time they've done that, we're thinking we've got another yard in hand and plenty of time, but we've not.
Well, at least the centre wicket area at Stockland Stadium's nowhere near as hard as Adelaide Oval. I know that can't be too easy to take for you guys, but let's have a look at the way the competition stands at the moment. We'll start with Pool A, and of course Canberra on top, courtesy of that absolutely astonishing for and against record. I think they've scored about 24 tries in the last 2 games. And with Canberra, Auckland turning their game around, they're playing well 2 from 2. Canterbury have had the one loss, that being to Wigan, and that has allowed Wigan to creep in with a few games still to be played in Pool A. Wigan still the only English side with a victory on the board, Steve.
Well, they're a chance to creep in. Bradford too, they've had 2 losses. Their points for and against is not too bad, so they're probably the leading lights. If any English sides are going to get into Pool A, you'd have to be looking at Wigan and Bradford at this stage.
Yeah, all right. Well, Pool B is much the same story, with the Australian teams dominating Adelaide, North Queensland and Hunter, all with 2 wins from 2 games. They have 4 points each, and Perth and Sheffield still to play. But it's difficult. Maybe the Salford boys here would disagree, but it's difficult to see any of those English teams creeping up into the top 4 to make the quarters.
Well, look at your side, Salford, 50 points to 8, right? With about 15 minutes to go, it was something like 20 points to 8. And there's still a chance. So when you play the Queensland Cowboys, you've just got to make sure that last 20 minutes equip yourselves and play with the same tempo as you did so well in the first half.
Yeah, over here, like I was on about pride, really. It's about putting a good show up in England. The people back home must be thinking, Jesus, what's going on?
If I could just make, not looking for any excuses for the English sides, but the English aren't acclimatised, not so much as travelling out here. It's not so much that. It's our pitch, number one is game after game here in the Australasian League is a fast, up-tempo, always going all the time.
It's a game of margins here too.
All the time. So it's hard, it's aggressive all the time, and very fast.
Yeah, that's certainly true. Look, we wish you luck on Saturday with the clash against the North Queensland Cowboys. Paul Forber and Gary Broadbent, thanks very much for being on Super Sunday. We wish you well, and I'd like to say that Fox Sports News will be along in just a moment with Caroline Searcy. And Caroline, the good news is that our Aussie tennis players are doing well in the lead up to Wimbledon.
Yes,
that game will be live too, but check your local guides for the start times on Saturday, and then on Super Sunday, join Steve Mortimer and myself again for what promises to be a really good...
The prop forward set it all up. This guy finished it. Controversy at the end of this game.
Bridge with the conversion attempt. The first one he's missed, I think. Kicked really well all night, but misses that one. 30 points to 8. Auckland Warriors are in the lead. But was that a fair try? Should Stuart Cummings have gone to the video ref?
Well, that's short.
And that's down.
Then he gets it down. So it's a fair try with the fact that the momentum took him over. He didn't move with the arm that was carrying the football. So even if Stuart Cummings had gone to the screen, good work by the touch judge. Nice to see them combining. Not that it'll make any matters for that man, Sean McRae. He won't be happy with things. He knows, Eddie, that it's not been a top performance by the Saints.
Simon Booth.
Far too many errors, haven't they?
Yes, they have had. Johnson's back. Joint. Tackled by Hanari. Pickovan's the man to go off. Young Johnson returns. Joint dummy half. Goulding just kicks the ball over the top. Tries to find touch, but Sean Hoppy, he picks up. That's a good chase by Goulding.
Great chase. A beautiful kick. Turn the winger Hoppy around.
Here's Mark Ellis. Tackled by Busby.
Defence has got to move it quickly if they can try to force the error.
I wonder if Goulding's groin will last through this tournament, Steve-O. He's limping badly. Lost it there, Endicott. Play on, says the referee. Saints have it back.
Good work by Anderson. Endicott lost the football.
So chances here for St Helens. Prescott now. Hunt. Back on the inside, Alan Hunt.